E for exciting, entertaining, energy, and epic. Tauihi Basketball, rated E.
Kia ora, good afternoon. Welcome into Cowles Stadium in Ōtautahi, Christchurch. Some Thursday evening hoops for you, starting with Sky Broadband Rapid League action. It's the Mainland Pouākai hosting the Southern Hoiho, a battle of the mainland. Nick Bewley here with Maya Williamson alongside. Great to be with you once more. The penultimate round of action for season 2024. A couple of teams, Maya, that... Well, the Pouākai, they're going swimmingly, aren't they, in Tauihi, but haven't quite had that same form in Rapid League. And then the Hoiho jumping out of the blocks and then having some real issues since. How do you see this contest playing out? Yeah,
it's been a real tough gig for both these teams. I think, you know, the season, both Rapid and Tauihi, like you said, Rapid League especially, both teams sitting at the bottom of the ladder for Rapid League. So today will probably be a matter of reps for some of these bench players that may play important roles going into the tail end of the season. And for the Hoiho, they'll be wanting to get as many points on the board as they can possible to try and edge some luck one way or another in terms of the Tauihi standings as well, if they want to get back in that playoff contention. There
is the live ladder, and as you can see there, the Hoiho sitting at the bottom at the moment, which after a 2-0 start, they'll be pretty gutted about where they sit. And you can sort of see the for and against. They haven't been losing by the biggest margins in Rapid League, but just unable to stop the rot, so to speak. The Pouākai a little bit up and down as well with some roster changes. They've had Ashley Strawbridge available, then she's been out injured. Sian Rabadi was promoted to the Tauihi starting five, which made her ineligible for Rapid League. She's now back in now, so it's been a little bit up and down ride for the Pouākai too in this format for season 2024. As we take a look at the starting fives for both sides, starting with the Chemist Warehouse Southern Hoiho: Gilbert, Mitchell, Simpson, Harris and O'Connell. Tyler Mitchell, one of their key contributors in Rapid League, a really nice high-arcing three-point shooter, someone who can score in multiple ways.
Yeah, absolutely. She comes with great expertise. Obviously, like you said, shoots well from beyond the arc. Also a great defensive player and just a really good leader and captain.
The Halls will timber Mainland Pouākai, starting five for Rapid League: Manu Malaunga, Tuilave, Kabillo, Strawbridge and Rabadi. As I mentioned before, they're two key contributors from an offensive perspective. In fact, both averaging exactly 8 points a game. They're coached by Josh Thompson, the Pouākai assistant coach. Quick head-to-head, courtesy of the Chemist Warehouse. In fact, that's an incorrect graphic, so we'll just excuse us there for the time being. But I can tell you, like we were just mentioning before, Maya, it will be an interesting contest from the head-to-head perspective. There's certainly talent on both sides, and both teams are looking for a bit of momentum to close out this Rapid League season.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the Pouākai, you know, their points differential really matters right now, and a couple of wins is going to edge kind of what playoff spot they end up in. So the points they scored today is going to be really important.
It's a very good point, given how close it is in the Tauihi competition in the penultimate round of the regular season. Three teams, including the Pouākai, on 6 wins, could come down to for and against when we come to those final 4 spots. As Harris fires away, might have been a long 2. And tied it up well by Simpson, then perfectly choreographed there by Abby Kabillo with the intercepts. And some of the corner officials might have a wee check here around the nature of the foul. She's about to get away on the fast break, Kabillo. And it is an unsportsmanlike foul. Shooting 2. She was already there at the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
Abby Kabillo was sure of that call. Get it down to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. That's great anticipation there from Abby. Very high IQ player with a lot of experience, so you can imagine she's really taking the reins of this whole Rapid League thing and taking pride in being their captain and their leader and kind of their engine, which has resulted in a good amount of success.
Well, it has been a limited role in the Tauihi side, coming in with limited minutes as a backup point guard in and behind Michaela Can. Has shown what she's made of, though, here. In fact, in this very gym last time out, 13 points was a real spark plug off the bench, her season high.
Absolutely. I really rate Abby, and I think she brings a wealth of knowledge and experience and just as a very calm presence. And I think she balances well with Michaela Can as well for that Tauihi side. I'm expecting to see quite a few minutes from her today. It's a good matchup for her against the Hoiho.
So another side inbound deflected there by the Hoiho. There is Rabadi, who just goes straight down the lane. Can't get the layup to go. Strong rebound there by the Hoiho. And they come through Simpson. There's O'Connell, plenty of ball movement. Harris was calling for it in and under the hoop. Had to get out of the key. And a good baseline drive there from Simpson. First bucket of the ball game for the Hoiho, but right back at you on the fast break, Sean Rabadi.
Both teams really playing to their strength in that sense. Millie Simpson really good at ripping and getting catches from the weak side, attacking those long closeouts. Pouākai really good in transition and feast in that. So both teams playing to their strengths early.
And the Hoiho again, looking to rinse and repeat. Here is Mitchell, and whistle and a foul. Looks like it's going to go on Manu Malaonga, and shooting two, Tyler Mitchell as well from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. As we take a second look, good pivot there, and patience from Mitchell.
Yeah, nice patience there, using her footwork. You could hear Coach Flynn, I believe, yelling, stay down. You know, just barking at Bana or Vitole Tulave there just to stay on the ground and keep your hands up. And Tyler Mitchell did a good job at recognising that and finding her own shot. We're going to see plenty of that from her tonight.
Splits the free throws as Mitchell bobbles around, eventually tidied by Ash Strawbridge. And unfortunately, looks like we might have a slight shot clock issue again. Kind officials sharp early.
Expect nothing less.
A tie ball game. As both teams look to get into their rhythm at both ends. Here is Rabadi once more. Unsurprising to see the Pouākai run their offense through her. Can't get that one to go either. And then just a tad overzealous.
Yeah, you could tell she was hunting that matchup against Caitlin O'Connell. Obviously, the stronger and the bigger one of the two. Caitlin O'Connell did a really good job to stand her ground and actually put up a really good contest against Sean.
Here is Caitlin O'Connell now. Plenty of strapping on that left shoulder. Here is Mitchell with that high arcing three, just a little away to the right. Good fight though for the rebound from the Hoiho. Elise Gilbert, unfortunately, foot out of bounds as she was trying to keep possession. Subs in for the Pouākai. Tessa Morrison into the ball game.
Pretty low scoring game for both sides, and kind of what we expect. These guys average the least amount of points a game in Rapid League. This woman might here will help.
Strawbridge for Morrison, the mid-Canterbury connection, and there is Timo. Good injection off the bench and a three-point opportunity.
Absolutely. I think she started off the bench against Fire as well in that Rapid League game and absolutely exploded. So maybe a little bit of a tactical decision to get her firing as an impact player off the bench. She's really good at getting downhill and finding gaps and has been really improving in her touch off the glass, and then nails that from the Chemist Warehouse stripe as well. A good addition off the bench.
Much like Abby Cabillo, brings that experience for what's otherwise a relatively young Pouākai Rapid League roster. 6-3, the hosts are in front. Abby Cabillo, as per, making things difficult. It's Lauren Tafada in now for the Pouākai. And injection two for the Hoiho with Elise Carline. Here's Elise Gilbert, swatted. I think Rabadi got a piece of that, and here come Pouākai the other way, and looks like they're gonna get out of jail call there. Rabadi almost got her footwork wrong. That basket won't count. They will get the foul.
Pouākai just clear and trying to push the ball in trans. They're trying to get easy opportunities, especially for Sian Rabadi at the rim. She's probably got the size and the strength advantage over any of these Hoiho players. And as well, they probably want to get these guys running. Hoiho have been very strict tonight with their bench heading into the Tauihi game. A couple of injuries for them tonight. So if the Pouākai can put them on the back foot already in terms of fatigue and fitness, they'll be, you know, kind of a step ahead heading into the Tauihi matchup later tonight.
Yeah, no Zoe Richards out with whiplash, I saw on the player status report.
Amari Thomas dropping his shoulder into you. We'll do that.
Yeah, to anyone in Tauihi probably.
Absolutely.
And Sammy Bowman under a cloud as well.
And no Sammy Gallagher either, so it's a tough night for the Hoiho.
There's Caitlin O'Connell. Nice wee spin move, just a little heavy. I think she intended on using the glass there, but gets it back. Gilbert from the mid-range. Nice wee shot there, Elise Gilbert.
She's really good at that. That is her range. She can get her any open shot, getting into her footwork in the mid-range. She's going to money that.
So less than a minute to go in the first. I mentioned my relatively low scoring thus far. Nip and tuck is to Fata. Wasn't far away. Tied it up by Carline. And the Hoiho with an opportunity here to level things up or even go ahead with a three. O'Connell. Good work there from Simpson, catching Cabillo in the air, and they do level it.
Millie Simpson again, so good. Getting that catch on the perimeter and attacking that long closeout, using her patience and getting the finish to go.
Sian Rabadi joined the fray relatively late here. She'll get possession, shot clock off. Here's Tafata curling to the hoop, and good defensive work. And that should do it for the first. Simpson might put up the prayer from half court. She won't get time. So even Stevens at the end of the first, 7 apiece. Both teams had their moments, Maya.
Yeah, pretty low scoring like we spoke about. I think, you know, that can be testament to definitely some good defensive efforts from both sides. Both sides can really pride themselves in the way they play half-court defense. I think for both of them, it's just about settling into their avenue of scoring and how they're going to approach that. Like I mentioned before, they both, you know, second to last and last in the league in scoring and pretty low in field goal percentage as well. And that's just going to be the tail of the tape of the talent of both these squads. I don't think it's necessarily a lack of talent-driven thing, but it can be hard to adjust to the way that you play Rapid League and what offenses you run and who you go through. So for both these guys, it's going to be settling into their offense and actually how they're going to execute and kind of the shots that they're looking for. I think for the Hoiho, that downhill penetration action, getting people like Millie Simpson on the rim and Caitlin O'Connell as well, getting her involved in the mix, that's what they want to look for. If I'm the Pouākai, I'm giving the ball to Sian and Ash, right? Ashley Strawbridge has barely seen the ball today. She's their leading scorer typically, so would love to see a bit more of her involved in the action.
Might have to show a bit of hunger. If you are hungry, Hoops 2024, the online code there for large buffalo chicken pizza, $40 for the sells on Thursday night.
Looks good.
Hoiho's certainly hungry to end this 7-game losing skid in Sky Broadband Rapid League. It's their penultimate opportunity. Here is Simpson again, had a strong first quarter. O'Connell, Harris on the wing. Tries to get around Rabadi. And Sian Rabadi just guilty of getting the hand in the cookie jar there. And I would say in the act of shooting should be free throws forthcoming from the Chemist Warehouse strike.
Like that from Abby Harris, a very aggressive attack on her favoured left hand, and we've seen Sian Rabadi commit a foul or two in the old Tauihi and Rapid League.
Have we seen anyone else foul out in Rapid League this season?
In 11 minutes? I don't know. Mike Lacey might need a stat check on that one.
Certainly set some records, haven't they, the Pouākai in season 2024. Just last week, of course, Mackenzie Forbes, 39 points, now owner of the individual scoring record in this league in its third season is that lady Sian Rabadi. It's an easy 2 from close range.
And a great drop-off pass by Abby Cabillo as well. Really good at getting in the lane and finding the bigs in those dunker spots.
Oh, good piece of that to Fata on the attempt. Those offensive rebounds just starting to creep up a touch for the Hoiho. I believe that was their third.
Yeah, the Hoiho are really good rebounding team in both Sky Broadband Rapid League and the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi as well. They really identify as a gritty hustle team, and you can see that in the way they crash rebounds.
At the same time too, the foul's just ticking up a touch for the Pouākai. It's their fourth. That one's on Cabillo. Here's Simpson up high. Mitchell. Simpson gets it back. A hand in her face. And there's another offensive rebound, this time by Elise Gilbert. And making the most of these second chance opportunities.
Yeah, 4 or 5 offensive rebounds already for the Hoiho. And then converting out of that. And then a turnover for the Pouākai back down the other way. Momentum starting to heavily favour Hoiho in moments like this.
A good way stint this. The ladies in blue and gold. And O'Connell now puts the shoulder down. Can't get it to go. And here's the Pouākai pushing that pace. Manu Malounga with the floater. Doesn't go. And Elise Gilbert cleaning up at both ends.
It's devastating for Tara there, because that's a great take. You know, if you can get all the way down into the paint and get a shot up in transition, you're happy with that. But just can't convert it, which is gutting.
And that's the wrong lady you want to leave wide open. The perimeter, Tyler Mitchell. Really good passage this for the visitors, now leading by 5.
Everything going right these last few positions for the Hoiho, looking a little bit more put together. They've kind of found their feet in terms of scoring. Now it's the Pouākai's turn to see if they can do the same thing.
Manu Malounga can't get the 3, but Rabati with the rebound. The hook shot doesn't go. So it's a 7-2 run here in the second for the Hoiho. Getting it done. Stops and buckets again.
Yeah, this is where you consider using your player timeout. You don't need to use it at the end of the quarter. If the team is getting momentum, the best thing you can do is pull everyone together for a chat, figure out your approach going forward and stop the momentum as well. Wonder if that's in the cards for the Pouākai anytime soon.
It's now 9-2 for the quarter. Really has opened up, and might be a bit of a tactical foul, if you like, there by the Pouākai. Tessa Morrison, Ashley Strawbridge and Rita Toilave have been waiting some time to check back into the ball game. They come in now. Tafata and Rabati make way. Shooting 2 is Harris. 4 players, evenly split on 4 points for the Hoiho. Simpson, Mitchell, Harris and Gilbert.
Yeah, it's kind of in the tail of the tape for the Hoiho this season in terms of their Rapid League team. A very even spread. The player who does contribute the most actually not playing tonight, Chelsea D'Angelo, will play probably a fair amount of minutes in the Tauihi game tonight. So, you know, I don't think she'll be touching the floor here. But she scores 6 points a game. So obviously the Hoiho having to spread their responsibilities elsewhere, and it's actually it's working a treat for them.
It certainly is. There's been some second stanza. The ladies from the south. 7-all at quarter time. 11-2 in the second quarter as Morrison fires away. Strong rebound from Strawbridge, and she's rewarded for the hustle.
You can see she's come off that bench and really willing to put in the work now, kind of giving Hoiho some of the same energy in terms of that crashing the glass, and that's what Strawbridge does the best. Like I said, I feel like if Pouākai want to get back in this game, they're going to have to utilise her a little bit more.
Struggling to get this in is Cabillo, and gives it up in the end. Here come the Hoiho again.
Turnover number 4 for the Pouākai. Definitely not favourable when you can't score either.
Here's Carline now. And there is another offensive rebound by Simpson, which just gets the toe on the line. And just the instruction there to our left, Maya, from Coach Thompson, just saying, gotta box out, where's the rebounds? Certainly becoming an issue for the hosts.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely not a height thing, right? There's no advantage the Hoiho have. It's an effort thing, and yeah, they're being a lot smarter about it than the Pouākai are, and they're going to continue to do that if the Pouākai let them.
Here's Simpson once more. Getting to that left, there's another offensive rebound, better this time from Manu Malounga, but then a second go. demanding a jump ball call there, but it's instead going to be a foul. And more free throws, I believe, for Carline.
See on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay, just had that block initially, but got her hands in the mix a little bit too much. And that's a thing, you'd rather just box out and get that defensive rebound to begin with, rather than trying to have to contest on that second chance opportunity. It's a great block by Tara, but you don't want to be playing, you know, kind of that catch-up game and trying to disallow the second chance opportunity. You just don't want it to be there in the first place.
Splits the free throws, does Carline. Rabadi will come back in for this likely last offensive set of the half for the Pouākai. This, of course, a result of the offensive rebounds of the Hoiho. They've had 5 more field goal attempts to the Pouākai. It's helped them build this now double-digit lead. It's Tuilave with a hook shot. That's more like it for the Mainlanders, and they'll call the BNZ player timeout. Smart play, Caitlin O'Connell. With 5.8 seconds to go, shot clock off. They can advance the ball and have a wee natter.
It'll be interesting to see what they do here. They could extend that lead back out to double digits, which will be interesting going into half-time. We know how quickly things can change in the Sky Broadband Rapid League, so let's see what they draw up here, eh?
Of course, the BNZ player timeout. Still opportunities to get to a game. Running out of time, though. Really need to get amongst these next couple of weeks. Of course, finals to come. Where do the Hoiho go? It's been such a collective effort. Gilbert from the elbow. Didn't quite have her feet set. Rabadi with a strong rebound. And there's going to be a foul call here. The Pouākai were pleading themselves for their own BNZ player timeout. The foul's going to go on the Hoiho. And with 1.7 seconds to go, I suspect we'll see a pass, and not even a pass. Don't even have to check the ball in. I should know that by now, but a BNZ player timeout called now by the Pouākai.
Got enough time to get a quick catch and shoot here, and this could be important for the Pouākai. Had that nice little bucket there by Tuilave, where they, you know, that had struggle street scoring for the entirety of the second quarter. So nice for them to get that little bucket there. Could they get another one and actually close that gap? That would be the most favourable thing for them heading into half-time, but it's going to be a bit of a tough gig here with 1.7 on the clock.
Well, they got all their tall timber on the floor with Tuilave, Rabadi as well. Strawbridge will inbound. They're going to go to Manu Malaunga and just going to put it up from the Cowles car park. Too much sauce, and that'll do it for... about blowing out a touch here in the second quarter after it was even after the first stanza, but it's the Southern Hoiho with an 8-point advantage, 19 points to 11. And as we alluded to earlier, Maya, despite some noticeable omissions for the visitors, a real collective effort, and that's proving problematic for the Pouākai.
Yeah, absolutely. The only player not to score that's played is Caitlin O'Connell. The rest of them contributing quite well. Abby Harris with 6 points herself, actually, and you know, as you see there, the scoring, I guess you could say, somewhat distributed for the Pouākai, but not at a high volume, and that's kind of been the tail of the tape. Only 11 points at halftime. They're typically quite a low-scoring team regardless, and you can just see the rebounds there, the biggest thing that's killing the Pouākai at the moment. The Hoiho feasting on second chance opportunities with 7 offensive rebounds, 5 second chance points. That's almost the lead eliminated if you take away those second chance opportunities, and I think that's been the biggest thing for the Pouākai. And it's going to be the biggest thing for them all season long, right, is the fact that they just really have this inability to score in Rapid League, hosting some pretty low scores in some of their losses. So it'll be interesting to see their approach going forward. We've seen things change. You know, last time I was here at home when they played the Queens, an absolute ripper of a comeback, and they got the win there. So it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible.
One thing that's jumping off the box score for me, and we mentioned her in the pre-game, Ashley Strawbridge has had a little bit of time out during this campaign with an injury, but not one shot attempt from the field, which is really surprising. Yeah,
and like we were talking about, she's averages about 8 points a game for the Pouākai, and actually is 4th in scoring in the Rapid League in general, right? So that's quite a high volume, and for this team that has struggled a lot offensively, she's been their driving force. You know, Abby Cabello leads that point guard responsibilities, but Ashley Strawbridge is their go-to scorer. And like I said, not having taken a shot attempt correlates, I think, with the 11-point game. So let's see how they go in the second half.
The Hoiho lead by 8, and they're 8 minutes away, rather, from potentially ending this rather long drought without a win in Sky Broadband Rapid League. Won their first 2, lost their last 7. Pouākai keen to make it 8. Here is Strawbridge. And Cabillo now. Move here with Rabati from 3. Doesn't mind it from downtown. And will that be the spark plug there for the hosts?
Look, if in doubt, you've got to try something else, right? They got to that on ball and had Chandra Rabati ghost out of it. She had an open look on the 3-point line. That's not a bad decision.
First 3 of the game, too, for the Pouākai. None from 5 in that first half.
Yeah, in fact, both teams not shooting it very well. The Hoiho 1 from 4 from the outside as well. So definitely a paint-orientated game so far.
Late in the shot clock here, it's just slightly stagnant for the Southern Hoiho, and Mitchell's going to have to put it up. It just hangs in the air for an age. And this time, an evident change from a rebounding perspective for the Pouākai too.
Absolutely, and Chandra Rabati is a fierce competitor from what we know. She goes out and gets after it, and is definitely their best rebounder. So she's not messing about today, that's for sure.
Yeah, got to tidy up at that end. The 7 offensive rebounds and 8 minutes of Rapid League is unacceptable, you'd think, from the Pouākai standards, as Morrison now fires away from 3. Strawbridge got a touch. Ended up in the lap of Caitlin O'Connell. Here comes Tyler Mitchell now and just crushes Cabillo. And that'll be an offensive foul.
She knew it straight away as well. Threw the ball and threw her head back. Abby Cabillo doing a really good job at getting her body in front for her to see on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Just taking it in the chest. There is no arguments about that.
Body on the line. On the diminutive Australian point guard, Abby Cabillo. Tauihi. Go back to that hot hand Rabati. Having opened the second half with a 3. Strawbridge now spins. First shot attempt of the ball game and draws a foul as well. She'll head to the Chemist Warehouse.
Look, that's what she's so good at. She's so good at getting downhill and using her athleticism to either get a finish, or she, often tends to take multiple trips to the Chemist Warehouse stripe within these Rapid League games. So that's more of what we're seeing from Ash, and this is definitely her identity. And, a few more of those trips, they could be even Stevens.
Just what was prescribed at the halftime break if you're the Pouākai coach Josh Thompson. And both free throws are made, and that gap closes now to a bucket. 19-16. Where do the Hoiho go for a response? At the moment with Simpson. Right wing, and good piece of that. Tauihi. And now Rabati. Strawbridge in the corner. 3 ball. Cash it. Tied game. Just like that, Maya.
And that's Sky Broadband Rapid League right there. They have come out of halftime firing, and just like that, the momentum changed. They look so much better on the offensive end, and now everything's flowing for them. Now Hoiho on the back foot.
Pressure's on the visitors all of a sudden. The swings of Rapid League. And a good possession there. Simpson just getting back to basics. Drawing a foul. We'll take a second look on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay.
Yeah, I like that from Millie Simpson. She's so good at ripping and getting straight line drives to the rim. Earned herself a trip to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Kind of the settler that the Hoiho were needing. Millie Simpson, a med student at Otago, so we've got a genius and an athlete on our hands.
You'd think she'd be right at home at the Chemist Warehouse stripe then, but misses the first.
Knee slipper.
And misses both, unfortunately, for Simpson. So it remains a tied game, and it remains a scoreless quarter for the Hoiho. 8-0 to the Pouākai, who can go in front here as Strawbridge just rifles across court to Manu Malaonga. Cabillo back with it. 6 on the shot clock. They go down low to Tauihi. Bobbles around. 45 cut from Strawbridge. The work there on the offensive glass from Rabadi pays dividends.
Now the third offensive rebound for the Pouākai, 2 of which are belonging to Sian Rabadi. So she's obviously put in a clear effort this half to really double down on what the Hoiho were doing to them in that first half and creating some second chance opportunities for herself. I think it's going to be the duo of Sian Rabadi and Ash Strawbridge we see going forward.
Quite a lot of time spent at the Chemist Warehouse strut so far in this ball game. Pouākai now 6 of 8, make that 7 of 9, and the Hoiho themselves 6 from 10. And those are the fine margins that can determine a win or a loss here in this Sky Broadband Rapid League. Pouākai now in front, having trailed at the half by 8. A 10-0 run. And now a good offhand from Tafata. Steps out of bounds there. It'll stay with the Hoiho.
Didn't have possession entirely either, so that's going to be only 5 seconds on the shot clock for the Hoiho, which makes a big difference.
Get it in now to Carline. Good hand there, Manu Malaunga. Got to get a shot up here. Don't think she's aware. Abby Harris, and another small win chalked up for the Pouākai.
You can just see, you know, when they kind of find their feet a little bit and the momentum goes in their favour, everything starts to work. So their defensive sets look a lot better. They execute offensively a lot better. Just looking like a whole different team, really.
Yeah, the confidence is sky high at the minute for Rabadi. It leaves that well short. There's the Hoiho. They're still in this. They need to recognise how quickly things can change to the other way. As Harris leaves that little hook shot short. It might be a jump ball here. It is. Good hustle from Elise Gilbert. And it'll stay the way of the Hoiho.
Been impressed with the offensive rebounding prowess of Elise Gilbert. She's up to 3 offensive rebounds now. Really putting in that work to gain her team some second chance opportunities. And in moments like this for the Hoiho, where they've gone almost scoreless, it's essential.
Here's Mitchell. Looks online. Oh, that's gorgeous from Tyler Mitchell. Never looked like missing.
That's what she does, right? Give her an inch of space, she will connect from beyond the arc.
So we've got ourselves a lead change. Hoiho back in front by 1. Rabadi has cut there. Cabillo. And good finish. Goes back the other way. Shot clock off late in the third. O'Connell has a quick look. We've got plenty of time here. Mitchell will fire away herself. Oh, how good. Tyler Mitchell back to back. Stays hot. And the Hoiho will take a 2-point lead into the final quarter.
Tyler Mitchell, eh? She is so comfortable from beyond the arc like that. And like we're just speaking about pre-game, and, you know, when she hit that last one, any inch of space, she's looking to pull, and she will likely hit. That's 3 for her now today. And, you know, if she continues to stay hot, that's really dangerous for the Pouākai heading into this fourth quarter where there is only a 2-point deficit. But I think for them, what an encouraging start coming out of that halftime. There must have been some stern words from Coach Josh at halftime that they kicked them into another gear. And like we said, they just found that confidence. They found different avenues of scoring. It was good to see Sian get that look from the 3-point line to start the quarter. They got Ash Strawbridge going downhill. Abby Cabillo found a little bit of luck as well. And when all that starts to kind of fall together, things look a lot better. But great job from the Hoiho, not letting it get to them and kind of, you know, getting back in it themselves. So it's going to be an interesting last quarter, and there really is no way of predicting what's going to happen. I've tried my hand at that before in Rapid League, and I will never do it again.
Certainly is anyone's game. 2-point margin in favour of the Southern Hoiho. As mentioned, not going to end a 7-game losing skid here in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Where did the Pouākai go early in the fourth? I'm sure the name Tyler Mitchell would have been mentioned too in there. Huddle as Ash Strawbridge starts the fourth as the Pouākai began the third. Her first 3 of the game.
It's a great look. Once again, they're trying to find different options, and you really like that. Keeps the Hoiho on their toes in terms of what they have to defend.
Fouls on Tafata. She stayed in front there of Mitchell. It's 50-50 calls.
Tyler Mitchell, though, doing a good job at making herself a multiverse threat in terms of actually looking to get downhill as well.
They go to the paint again through Carline. Good work initially with Robati. I believe the foul's going to be on Strawbridge on the second attempt. In fact, no, they've signalled it's on Sian Robati. Quite in the foul trouble she's found herself in the past. That's just her third.
That's oftentimes what happens with the issue of offensive rebounding, is the person guarding the person who's laid the ball up thinks they don't have to box out, but that's also an important box out as well. And especially Elise Carline is known for her offensive rebounding abilities and her hustle and her knack for the ball. Again, Pouākai going to have to clean that up.
Misses the second as Carline, so we've got ourselves a tied ball game again. Enthralling contest, this one. Manu Malaonga to Tafati, and they go to Rabati. Match up with Carline, pulls it out. Late in the clock again. Manu Malaonga, a couple of times between the legs, get to her left. Lovely finish, Tara Manu Malaonga.
I love that change of pace from her, working that dribble move, then exploding to her left, and a really hard finish as well. A very, very timely bucket for Pouākai. And a clutch one for Tara, who hasn't really done much tonight, but able to come alive when the Pouākai need her.
There's better work there defensively too on the closeout from a Tyler Mitchell three. Manu Malaonga feeling it, nails it. 5 quick points. Momentum swings back the way of the Mainlanders.
Tara Manu Malaonga has really taken over, and I like that, right? She hasn't done much today. The offensive load has gone elsewhere, but she stepped up when she's needed to, and those are 2 massively clutch buckets.
Harris with the drive and strong finish. Closes it to 3. The intensity has gone up a notch or 2. Not just on the court, but on the benches as well, as Manu Malaonga, the old heat check moment from the same spot, leaves that one well short. Tafata stays down after hustling for the ball, so someone's got to be free here. Is it Tyler Mitchell? Oh, that one wasn't too far away. Long rebound, Strawbridge. And here is Tafata the other way now.
Great look for Tyler Mitchell, though. If you're down the stretch and you're still getting wide open looks, you cannot complain about that.
Carline with the block attempt, but is called for the foul, and it'll be free throws coming up for Sian Robati, and subs in as well.
Interestingly, Tara Manu Malaonga will take a seat. I know you'd think maybe with a hot hand should stay out there, but definitely some trusty subs coming in nonetheless.
So Rabati leading the way from a scoring standpoint for the Pouākai, now up to 11 points. Strawbridge on 8, all of which have come here in the second half. And makes them both. Rabati restores the 5-point buffer. O'Connell moves it up over the half court. Gilbert. Switch there by Cabillo, and then gets the steal, almost keeps it in. All heart and hustle from Abby Cabillo. Not too far away. She picks up another defensive assignment. Thought she'd given up the foul there. Everything just stopped momentarily. But how about the finish on the fly from Caitlin O'Connell?
Yeah, it was looking like it might be an empty position for the Hoiho originally, but that's a massive bucket for Caitlin. They've got to execute here on the defensive stretch, but they're very much staying around and sticking in it.
Toilave from the mid-range. Doesn't go, leaves it short. Wrapped up. Strawbridge, Harris, jump ball. And it will stay with the Hoiho. 1 minute and 4 seconds to go. 3-point ball game. Feel like there's another twist in the tail here at Cowles. Haven't we been treated to some frenetic finishes? Both Tauihi, Rapid League, Cowles, NBL.
This place has seen it all, Max. It's seen it all.
Gilbert gets it over the half court under pressure, and they go to Mitchell unsurprisingly. Simpson's been good as well. 6 to go on the shot clock. Tries to get to her right. Step back. It's a long two. Away to the left. Gilbert got a piece of that on the way down, but ends up with Abby Cabillo. They slow things down just a touch. The three-point buffer. 30 seconds to go. Cabillo gets free. Floater. Oh, too heavy. Rabadi. Basket won't count. I think she had a push there, in fact. And that is the way the coin official has seen it. Can't believe it. Probably won't repeat what Sian Rabadi just said to the coin official there. She thinks it's a flop. And it's going to be 2 free throws as well. So quite a big moment, you feel, given the course of the contest. As you take a second look here, and I don't think you can argue with that one, Mike. Slowed down, sort of fighting for positioning, but certainly an outstretched arm there, Rabani on O'Connell. He's got a couple of big free throw attempts here at the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Yeah, it's unfortunate there. Obviously, Sian can tend to get a little bit overzealous with her physicality, and as Caitlin O'Connell misses that Chemist Warehouse stripe, we've actually just witnessed a technical foul on Sian Rabadi, which means that's her 5th foul of the matchup as well. And a game that could have been a 5-point deficit has kind of just completely taken a different turn. That's going to be Sian's night. Yeah, that's really unfortunate, and she's clearly quite upset with the call too. And Tyler Mitchell now, but they're leaving some freebies out there, the Hoiho. So Mitchell just came up to take the technical foul free throw. Caitlin O'Connell had already missed her first of 2 attempts. So it remains a 3-point ball game. O'Connell again off the backboard. This one goes in, so it's a 2-point ball game. Morrison in, full court pressure from the visitors, and the foul committed by Mitchell. I just feel like my cool heads might go a long way here to getting the job done. Emotions gone up a notch. Yeah, this is where execution becomes really important, and experience plays a hand in execution. Both teams, probably the Pouākai more so favoured in that sense, so let's see what they do. There's a bit of confusion there because the shot clock was just stationary at 24 for a time when it didn't need to be on. Just 10.2 seconds to go, but the foul committed by the Hoiho. Cabillo will head to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Can probably win it here, you feel, if she makes them both, pushes it out to 4. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a hard hole for the Hoiho to get out of. Would need a miracle. Not saying it can't happen. Yeah. That's Rapid League. They'll certainly use a BNZ player timeout. Makes them both. Ice cool from Cabillo. The BNZ player timeout does come. And you feel like Tyler Mitchell's going to get a fair amount of attention here if they recall what transpired late in that 3rd quarter from distance. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Obviously, she's the only one that's hit a 3 from the Hoiho. They are 3 for 9. All of which coming from Tyler Mitchell. You know, they could possibly use her as a decoy, but then you're entrusting someone else who has not yet hit one to be the person in that moment. And here is Mitchell. She's got Strawbridge on it, gets a switch. They go to O'Connell. It is a decoy, and just too much on it. Just need to collect the rebound here, and they've got it in the bag, the Pouākai. Morrison's fouled. So they did go with that decoy. Went with someone else in O'Connell. And free throws coming up here to seal the deal. What a comeback. I mean, these guys are renowned for that, eh? These guys love to get themselves in uncomfortable positions and to just fight their way out of it. They don't make it easy on their bench, on their fans. On us? Yeah. Our heart rate. Morrison makes it both. And it's now a 6-point ball game. Mitchell's fouled with 0.4 of a second remaining in this ball game. It has got a little bit messy in the late stages. A lot of free throws and foul calling. You feel a little bit for the Hoiho though. They had their chances. And as I mentioned in the pre-game, when you looked at their total for and against, even though they have a 2-7 record, I think it was something like a minus 40, which sort of illustrates when they're losing, it's not by much.
Absolutely. I mean, they've lost the last two matchups against the Pouākai and Rapid League, 33-25 and 35-24. So, you know, but I imagine those games have actually been close pretty much the whole way through and just blown out at the end. A little bit similar to this one as well. So like you said, it's always tough for them, you know, being there or thereabouts but not being able to execute. Good for them to continue to compete to the last buzzer, of course. You know, that's really important in terms of their standings in the actual Tauihi League, and they are sitting in that uncomfortable position right now where they can earn themselves a trip to the playoffs if everything goes right and they get a couple of wins. And you know, that points percentage thing is going to be really important.
Well, speaking of points percentage, this is why it's still paramount for the Pouākai here to close it out, even though they've got 0.4 of a second remaining. For and against, of course, contributing towards the overall ladder. Cabillo trying to do things in a hurry, doesn't get a shot off, but it smiles for the Pouākai. They were down by 8, and they've found a way through the work of Sean Rabati with 12 points, Ash Strawbridge with 8, but a lot of contributors, Maya. Abby Cabillo with 5, Tessa Morrison with 5, Tara Manu-Maleunga with 5 points in a real quick stretch. They're able to get the job done. 37 points to 33, their 4th win of the Sky Broadband Rapid League season, as we went through some of the key stats courtesy of the Chemist Warehouse.
Yeah, great battle from both sides. Kind of what we expected to see, Nick. It was just the Pouākai able to find their feet offensively, find a different avenues of scoring. A lot of contributions came out of that, and then, you know, a positive result in the end. One
of the longer Rapid League games too. Yes, it is 17 past 7. Usually we have about a 20-minute warm-up between Broadband Rapid League, Sky Broadband Rapid League, and GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi. Don't go anywhere here on Sky Sport though. We're going to take a quick break while the starters for Tauihi go through their warm-ups. We won't be too far away from tip-off in the Tauihi contest between the Pouākai and the Hoiho. But before that, some highlights from the season so far.
Basketball is a movie and every game is a blockbuster.
This season is alive!
E for exciting, entertaining, energy and epic. Tauihi Basketball, rated E.
Help me up, never let it fall. Help me roar like an animal. Back to the bone. Watch out, 'cause I'm in my zone.
Hello and welcome in to Cowles Stadium in Ōtautahi, Christchurch on what's been a scorcher of a spring day here in the O3. And let's hope the action heats up to on court between the Mainland Pouākai and the Southern Hoiho here in the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi Aotearoa League. Nick Bewley here with Maya Williamson alongside. Maya has just been treated to one of those classic sort of thrillers here at Cowles and Sky Broadband rapidly, with the Pouākai coming back from a double-digit deficit to win. And the Pouākai in Tauihi on a bit of a heater. 3 wins from their last 3. They currently sit second in the league with a 6-win, 4-loss record. And a win tonight, and they'll momentarily go top of the table. What have you made of their stretch of form in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, look, I've been super impressed. I think they had a little bit of a rocky start where they showed, pretty bad signs of some serious inconsistency, but they've found their feet a lot more. They've kind of starting to work with their moving pieces a little bit, and you can just see, with their, variety of scoring talent, the way they've been able to settle that in. And obviously 39 points from Mackenzie Forbes helps last week.
That helps, yes.
Absolutely, but they're showing themselves to be some serious contenders, and yeah, their offense looks really good as opposed to what it looked like, a few weeks ago.
There is the Tauihi ladder. So as things stand, as mentioned, identical record to the Kahu, but the Kahu with a much superior for and against. For the Hoiho, it's now or never. 2 games to go, and they need to win to stay alive in this competition. Of course, it's top 4 for the finals, semi-finals. And the Hoiho, speaking of inconsistencies, they had that really impressive win not too long ago against the Tokomanawa Queens on home court. The Northern Kahu, they are a tough matchup, but going down by 19 points to them, and some pretty significant outs as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been tough for them with those, small margins. We've seen it in Sky Broadband Rapid League as well. A couple of games that really could have gone their way but didn't end up in the end. And like you said, some serious outings with Zoe Richards and Sammy Gallagher out tonight, who are good moving pieces, especially Zoe Richards, who plays significant minutes. And, Sammy Gallagher as well, bring that kind of hustle energy and non-statistical things off the bench. It's a big missing piece for these guys who need the win tonight.
Good news, though. Sam Bowman will play as we take a look at what's still to come Saturday night. The Queens at Palmerston North against the Fire, the Hoiho, and the Kahu, and the Pouākai. Back-to-back home games to close out the regular season. They'll be back here next Friday night to face the Queens, so they just beat up in the capital on Sunday, just been. Good crowd building in here at Cowles Stadium as both teams go through their warm-ups. And Pouākai in their dark blue, the Hoiho, and the sky blue there to the left.
It's nice to see the crowd still building on a Thursday night. It's a bit of an abnormal day for, the Kidley Winks and stuff, but nice to see the Cowles Stadium still somewhat filling up.
Yeah, big week too, from a sporting perspective here in Canterbury with the cricket over at Hagley Oval. The Tall Blacks in town on Monday night as well. Here is the Chemist Warehouse Southern Hoiho starting 5. Paige Bradley has again led the way in her second season with the Hoiho. Elise Hurst, Natalie Cho, Alia Dunn into the starting lineup with no Zoe Richards, and as mentioned, Samantha Bowman will start after being under a question mark through injury herself. They're coached by Todd Marshall. A little bit earlier, Maya caught up with Elise Hurst.
All right, well, welcome to Christchurch. It's always tough for you guys when you have a couple players injured and it's a must-win game. So how are the feels for tonight?
I'm excited. I mean, we've got lots of players and we're ready to step up. Everyone's ready to step up, play a good game, and just, take what comes to us.
Awesome. So what's important for you guys today? You had a big win against the Pouākai last time at home. Do you think that helps at all?
Would help, but I mean, different team today, so we just got to focus on defense, taking what they give us, and making everything a good shot.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Good luck. Awesome.
Of course, you can get involved with our mix and pick poll, pre-game poll. Simple question: who gets the win? The love there with the Pouākai, thinking it could be a blowout, but as we've seen in the course of the season, my predictions have been, well, simply that, predictions. Very rarely does it tend to materialise. Such has been the evenness of the competition this season.
Absolutely, and that's what you want out of this kind of competition, right? Is 5 teams who can compete, and you never know what's going to be the result of each game, and you can't even look at the mix and pick anymore.
The Pro Build Mainland Pouākai consistency now with their starting 5. Mackenzie Forbes, that lady there, currently at the Chemist Warehouse stripe, coming off a red-hot record night, 39 points against the Queens. Michaela Can, Hayley Rynell, Ezra McGoldrick and Cassandra Brown round out the starting 5. They're coached by Paul Flynn, and a lady making a fair amount of impact off the bench is Sian Rabadi, and she caught up with Maya.
All right, it's been a much better few weeks for you guys. Your 3 wins on the bounce. What do you think has improved for you guys, or is working better?
I think just us as a team staying together and controlling what we can on and off the court has helped us a lot as a team. Locking in and trusting in what our coaches put into plan has helped us stay connected on and off the court. So yeah, just trusting in the process and playing together and playing as a team.
Awesome, and tonight's obviously a really important game for you guys. So what's important that you guys do to execute the win?
I think just from watching the previous games of Hoiho, they were a very strong team, locking down on Paige Bradley right from the get-go just to help us get going and, playing our games, staying together, having fun, and just like I said, trusting in our process, trusting in what we've been training will get us going for tonight's game.
Awesome. Good luck, Sian.
Thank you.
Sian Rabadi just coming off 12 points in Sky Broadband Rapid League in a win. She's had time in the starting 5, of course, and now a meaningful role off the bench as well. So we take a look at the Chemist Warehouse head-to-head. You can see there the tail of the tape for the Pouākai. Won their last 3, 4 of their last 5. The key players, as we've alluded to, Mackenzie Forbes, coming off that 39-point performance, averaging 18 points a game, and Paige Bradley too, as mentioned, in her second year at the Hoiho. And usually a big part of when they're successful. Had a 28-point night, for example, just last week against the Tokomanawa Queens. You feel like one of those ladies has a big night, and it'll go a long way in terms of determining this ball game.
For sure, especially for Paige Bradley. I feel like a lot of the offensive load is lying on her shoulders, and I think with some absences in their roster tonight, that's even more so going to be the case. She's really great at being kind of someone who's got multiple arrows in her bow, right? She's a really good playmaker in terms of being a point guard. She can facilitate off ball screens or in transition, but she's also looking to be a little bit more aggressive this season in terms of her scoring, and that's worked well for her. She's found some avenues in terms of getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line. The pull-up jumper's looking real nice. She's shooting it well from three-point line as well, so I think keep an eye out for those two. Probably not going to be a matchup that we're going to see tonight, given height differential, but I think they can make some serious impact. And it's going to be interesting to see, what kind of night Mackenzie Forbes has, because she can have some inconsistent nights, where her field goal percentage maybe not as high, but she has nights where she just absolutely takes over. She had one against Tokomanawa Queens last time they were at home as well, so I'm hyped. I'm hyped.
So am I. Interesting too to see how the Pouākai attack. And the 2 tall timbers too, and Bowman and Dunn on the floor at the same time with no Zoe Richards. Natalie Cho has had her moments too in a Hoiho uniform. And it's easy to forget too, given the wins that the Pouākai have had, 2 over the Kahu, 2 over the Queens. They have dropped a game to the Southern Hoiho in season 2024. In fact, their most recent meeting back on the 27th of October in this very gym, 78 points to 69. So the series is split, if you like, at 1 win each.
And that was a big comeback win for the Hoiho as well, right? The Pouākai looked pretty comfortable for a majority of that matchup, and then a massive stretch at the end for the Hoiho. So both teams are definitely not going to get complacent at any point tonight.
It's the battle for Te Waipounamu, Mainland Pouākai, Southern Hoiho. Hoiho fighting for survival. The Pouākai looking to go top of the Tauihi table. And it is the hosts who will open things up. Here is Mackenzie Forbes. Brown curling, driving. Tough shot. Tied it up by Dunn.
Not a bad opening position. They had Cass coming off that ghost screen, and she's a lethal three-point shooter, so had an open look and then able to get downhill. You can't ask for much more in an opening position.
Here is Paige Bradley. Really explosive acceleration there, and gets the first bucket.
And that's that scoring mindset we've seen her kind of shift to in this season, especially in these last few weeks. Just her, desperate need to get to the rim, and when there's no help side and she's isolated one-on-one, she's pretty efficient in doing so. Right
now, that's clean. Lovely extra pass there from Ezra McGoldrick. And the Pouākai pick up from where they left off from downtown. They, as a team, made 16 threes in that win over the Queens in Wellington last week. Of course, Forbes with 9 of them. They're averaging just over 8 a game. As Elise Hurst draws the contact, and whistle and a foul on Forbes. And a bit of a continuation from Rapid League here, Maya. It's for a fair bit of time at the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
Absolutely, and I think that's why we saw a 47-minute Rapid League game. Just so you know, it's 16 minutes on the clock. So they sure stretched that one out. But both teams obviously very physical in their defensive identities, and that's going to be a key here. Both teams wanting to get 2 feet in the paint. They both really like to get to the free throw line. They both shoot incredibly well from the free throw line, so that's going to be a huge part of tonight.
Hurst makes them both. Hoiho go back in front. She's averaging a shade under 12 points a game this season, Elise Hurst. Again, another returnee to the Southern Hoiho. We know how prolific she can be as an offensive threat. A 32-point game last year. There's McGoldrick the other way. And good tidy up work by Rynell. She's pumped early. She's got all 5 points. Can make it 6 with a 3-point play.
And I love Hayley and Rynell's attitude there. We'll see that on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Great contest initially for Aaliyah Dunn. Offensive rebounds a large part of the Pouākai's identity. They've strayed a little bit away from it these last couple of weeks. Hayley Rynell, though, that's big in her identity. 9th in the league in rebounding, averaging just under 8 a game. Buries that one from the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
Yeah, all 6 points for Rynell. His season high 19 points. That was back in round 4 against the Kahu. Here's Natalie Cho. Silky ball handling skills there, and McGoldrick caught, putting a hand in.
I think that one's actually called on Cassandra Brown, an off-ball foul. So the point officials certainly got their eyes everywhere tonight.
There's Bowman, can match up. Dunn just can't finish from close range. Can't. The dish to Brown. We'll get it back. Get through their set here with Forbes. McGoldrick in the corner. Quick catch and shoot. Away to the right. Rebounded by Dunn.
It's a great look, though. Ezra is efficient from the corner. She's currently shooting 37% from the three-point line this season and putting them up at volume as well. So clearly, really been on form from beyond the arc this season.
Good rebound there by Aaliyah Dunn again, and earns herself a trip to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. So a big role to play, you feel, tonight for Aaliyah Dunn. Of course, teams must have a local player on the floor at all times. No Zoe Richards, as you mentioned earlier pre-game. I know Sammy Gallagher either. And having that size presence, you feel like Aaliyah Dunn's going to have to play some significant minutes.
Absolutely. I mean, Zoe, one of her best skills is her rebounding ability and her presence inside the paint, and you take that away, you need someone to replace it. Like you said, the minutes thing is also going to be a large weight on the shoulders of both Aaliyah, but the rest of these starters as well, with their bench having significantly shrinked. So Aaliyah's really going to have to step up tonight, and she's doing a very good job at it so far. Doesn't look out of place whatsoever.
Pouākai with a 1-point lead, all 6 points so far through Hayley Rynell. Here's Forbes with the drive, a good work by Hurst. And they go back to Rynell, and she draws another foul, and doesn't she love it? Hot start from Hayley Rynell, all 8 points, could potentially make it 9. Really like the patience too there from Mackenzie Forbes.
100%, and probably just has that speed advantage on Aaliyah Dunn, right? So able to kind of back cut her and have her on the back foot. A really nice finishing ability in Mackenzie Forbes and Hayley right now. That nice little connection there too. I feel like it's going to be a big night for Hayley.
9 points to 5. As Hoiho go to Bowman, thinks about it, gets a bit closer, and a nice finish there. Her first basket of the night.
She's so good at that. She had 14 points in their last matchup and was 46% from the field. So efficient when she has that ball in that low block. We're going to see plenty more of that.
Strong drive there from McGoldrick that time. And another foul here. Blocking foul on Bradley. Her second as well. Just a tick over 3.5 minutes gone. The last person they want to get in foul trouble, you think, tonight, Maya, Paige Bradley?
Oh, for sure. And like we spoke about, that absence of Zoe and Sammy means more offensive load and responsibility on some of their scorers, particularly Paige Bradley, who could be considered their biggest threat. So to have her out early means some shift in dynamic in terms of the Hoiho offense and who they go to and who runs their point guard as well.
McGoldrick makes them both from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. 4-point buffer early for the hosts. It's Hurst, a lovely bounce pass, splitting the defense. Bowman stops Pross, can't get it to go. Brown, oh, she's tripped on the way through. And a bit of a wry smile and a look there from Sammy Bowman, perhaps thinking that it was her own feet that got in the way there potentially. Cassandra Brown.
See that again, yeah.
Just
maybe.
a wee tangle.
Can never tell. Shout out to the GJ Gardner Homes replay, always keeping us in the loop. Sammy Bowman, definitely a competitor though. You can see that kind of wry smile on her face, definitely a sense of competitiveness within her, and encouraging signs for the Hoiho. Some early catches for her in that low block, and she's going to have to do a lot of that tonight, so great to see that they can get the ball in so easily to her.
Here is Brown again with Bowman. The help defense comes from D'Angelo. In fact, it's last touched off the foot Brown. So it'll be Hoiho possession. And in comes Tyler Mitchell as well. Had a really good Sky Broadband Rapid League game. 3 threes, double-digit shooting.
Yeah, Coach Todd might be hoping she's going to continue on that hot hand to aid this short-handed Hoiho offense.
Hurst from the corner, out to the right. Strong rebound there. Bowman. He'll wall up though. McGoldrick, another offensive rebound though. We saw this a bit in Rapid League too, as Hurst gets another opportunity. Wayward from downtown. And this time straight into the lap of McGoldrick, who's looking to go coast to coast. No, she finds Rynell and she continues to flourish offensively. Hayley Rynell, 11 of the Pouakai's 13 points.
11 points in 5 minutes is freakish, especially given her season high is 19. She's 8 points away already. It's been 5 minutes of basketball tonight. She's really come to play, and the Pouakai finding her in her preferred spots early as well, which aids them significantly.
Forcing a tough look there was Can, but then a flash pass. Good offhand there by Tyler Mitchell, and they come the other way. And a bit of a meal there with a 2-on-1 there. The Hoiho, what do I know though? Kick it out to Chelsea D'Angelo. She drains it from the top of the key.
You'll definitely be assuming that there'll be a hot closeout assignment given to her. She shoots 46% from the three-point line and loves to take those shots when she's open.
Pass just a little bit high for Rynell from Forbes. And getting good switches though for Hayley Rynell. As we take another look at that Chelsea D'Angelo 3. Hoiho down by 3. There's Cho. Drive there and draws the foul. So fourth foul for the Pouakai. And one will go on Michaela Can.
Really like what I'm seeing this season from Natalie Cho, obviously averaging 12.5 points a game. Very efficient and really smart in her approach at getting downhill defensively, so efficient as well. We saw that in the last game Hoiho played here against the Pouākai. You know, she was a massive reason for that comeback. Just gets in passing lanes, disrupts, you know, and can be a large part of their comeback. Really good from the free throw line as well, 80% on the season.
There's right now, and Sian Rabadi awaits her boarding pass into the ball game. Floater on the move, Michaela Can.
A little bit unorthodox, you could say, but a tough bucket, and good for them to see somebody else open their scoring bank account and see that ball go through the net.
Nice find, D'Angelo, but rejected at the rim. And the Pouākai now the other way. Brown. Oh, great work, Hurst. Anticipated the pass. And last touch by Mackenzie Forbes.
The Pouākai need to be careful. I believe that's turnover number 4 as well. We've seen that be slightly an issue. They move the ball really well, but in turn have, you know, lowered their ball security a little bit. The Hoiho especially really good at getting in passing lanes and disrupting anything easy. They are averaging 10 steals a game, which is the first in the league.
D'Angelo again from deep. Oh, how about it? Chelsea D'Angelo making a big impact off the bench in this ball game. Couple of threes, and it's all locked up, 15 apiece.
Yeah. There's soon to be a bit of a change in closeout on D'Angelo, given she's 2 from 2 now.
Great work, Rabadi, body on the line, and that should be Pouākai possession, and it is. Last touch by Cho. And Pouākai rallying around Rabadi. Unfortunately, fouled out again in Rapid League. Such a key piece to this Pouākai roster, isn't she, Maya? Absolutely.
Sian does the little things that, you know, you can't ask her to do, the things that may not show off on the stat sheet. A great rebounder, you know, gets in the dunker spots and is very efficient in what she is good at. Has shot the ball really well this season as well. 32% from the three-point line. Plays her role, does it well.
Sorting the shoelace there is Chelsea D'Angelo. He's leading Hoiho scoring so far with 6. Hayley Rynell. Explosive start with 11. They can't slow down Natalie Cho there. Nice little mid-range.
Yeah, so intelligent, Natalie Cho. Just feels the defense on her back and knows the fadeaway is the best option and converts it really well. As we see Michaela Can stumble to the floor. Chelsea D'Angelo will pick up her first foul. That may be on Elise Hurst, actually. A little bit of a...
Next to no room there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For Michaela Can. Just showing her experience there. Leads the league in assists. Can just under 7 a game, but can very much switch from facilitator to scorer in an instant. I was about to say, and that would have been the ultimate commentator's curse, but she is prolific from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. It only missed 2 before that one there this season.
95% on the season. How crazy is that?
I think you mentioned earlier, Maya, they're not a high volume free throw shooting team, the Pouākai, but from a efficiency standpoint, when they get there, they very rarely miss. Just under 85% as a team, first in the league. And another trip awaits here, this time Ezra McGoldrick.
Yeah, still averaging 18.9 attempts, which is pretty high volume there. A little bit inconsistent with it, you know. Sometimes they're shooting 8 free throws a game, sometimes they're shooting 30. Yeah. Which probably, you know, gets their
maybe it's the games at the 8 that I keep thinking of in my mind.
But, you know, they've actually capitalized on those really well, right? If you've been given that many opportunities and you're very efficient at it, that can help in winning games.
And they go back ahead now by 1. Good start in the ball game this. Hoiho fighting for survival. And a foul now on Can. And there's that wry smile again on the Pouākai. And you got to think, Maya, as much as that frustration can linger, it's about adjusting, right? If the coin officials tonight are going to be hot on this sort of thing, then you've just got to take it back just a step.
Totally. You don't need to limit your physicality. You just need to be a little bit smarter about how you approach that. And, you know, for Michaela Can, you can get really tied up in the moment of playing really good defense, that you just do one extra thing that causes it to get a foul. And for this Pouākai team, they definitely don't want to be, they don't like to rotate their bench anyway. You know, they're a very tight rotation team, so they don't want to dig too deep into their rotation in a must-win game like this. And it'll be the exact same for the Hoiho, who are missing 2 of their bench pieces as well.
Right now, trying to get that bounce pass through to Rabadi. Came off the leg there of Bowman. Cabillo with the inbound right now. Can up high. On the back of the hand to right now, a long 2 and a miss. Work there, D'Angelo with the rebound. Here come the Hoiho. Cho, pull up 3. Not far away. Bowman and right now fighting for it. And a win there for the visitors. Here's D'Angelo again. Can't get it to go in this time eventually. Right now reels it in.
Offensive rebounds creeping up at 4 now for the Hoiho, which we know is one of their strengths. They rebounded really well against the Pouākai last time these guys matched up. They had 16 offensive rebounds last time, so that's definitely something the Pouākai will have a focus on tonight.
Mackenzie Forbes just getting a short break, and we'll check in for Ezra McGoldrick. Get to open her account, Mackenzie Forbes, and yet to have a field goal attempt in actual fact too, after that 39-point performance last week.
Well, you can imagine there's a lot of defensive attention on her, and a lot of scout and defensive assignment stuff will be centered around how to take that away. The good thing for the Pouākai is, you know, having other scoring threats on the floor who are willing to come alive, and Hayley Rynell is taking that in her stride, that's for sure.
Like a mini game of Twister, there is multiple players fighting for that rebound. Can't believe my eyes. I've just seen Michaela Can miss 2 free throws here tonight. She'd missed 2 previously for the season. So just a few things not quite going the same way for the Pouākai that have worked so well over the last couple of weeks. Almost 3-match winning streak. There's Alia Dunn back in the ball game. Bowman, Hurst will fade away on 1 foot. It's just cooling off. What is a really hot afternoon, evening here in Christchurch. Tipped over 30 degrees earlier this afternoon as Cabillo. It's the layup on the left.
Abby Cabillo only averaging 4 points a game, but so good at getting downhill and getting to the rim when she's needed. Not huge in stature, but a slasher in her position, and the fact that she's so fast, able to find gaps really well, and has played a really good piece off the bench here for the Pouākai.
Offense just triumphing over defense there. Abby Cabillo didn't do much wrong. Work there by Paige Bradley. It's the gap back to 1 point late in the first. Rabadi from 3. Money.
Sean Rabadi, like we spoke about, upwards of 30% from the 3-point line, and hits them when she needs it. There's a big one for the Pouākai.
Shot clock's off. Hoiho looking for one final response to close out the first quarter, and Chelsea D'Angelo doing a lot of the heavy lifting here for the visitors. McCann needs to get it up just to low to the left from near half court to bring the curtain down on an entertaining first quarter that's ebbed and flowed. Ultimately, it's the home team, the Mainland Pouākai, who lead by 2 at the end of the first. Welcome back to Cowles Stadium in Christchurch, where the Pouākai lead the Hoiho by 2. GJ Gardner-Holmes, Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa action. Nick Bewley alongside Maya Williamson, and this one it looked like the Pouākai were finding their rhythm. A counter punch comes from the Hoiho, and how about the impacts of Chelsea D'Angelo? Just a tick over 6 minutes off the bench, 11 points, perfect from downtown. And 4 or 6 from the field. Not too shabby.
Yeah, she had that matchup with Abika below at the end of that quarter as well, and really liked that. Hunted that mismatch seal in the low block. And to no surprise, she's remaining on the court, and I think we're going to see a fair amount of minutes from her tonight.
Haley right now on the other end for the Pouākai. After a really good start offensively, she's also on 11 points. Quite from that action there, Maya, they were trying to get Mackenzie Forbes a bit more involved after the night she had just at the weekend been 39 points, but moving screen there snuffles the opportunity as Cho just leaves that layup short.
Yeah, a little indecisive there, Cho, what she was going to do, but very tic-tac-toe a little bit there. Pouākai still remain in possession.
Absolute confusion there. And Rabadi continues her strong start, crashing those boards, and the three-pointer going as well.
It's 4 offensive rebounds now for the Pouākai, and 7 second chance points. Have done a good job at making the most of those second chance opportunities.
And Dunn and Brown this time wrapped up on the offensive rebound attempt from Dunn, and it will stay the way of the Hoiho. Boxing out, slight issue for the home team.
Yeah, like we spoke about, 16 offensive rebounds for the Hoiho last time they were here, and a big part of their identity regardless as well.
There's another shot. Fade away up on one leg, doesn't go, and this time Mackenzie Forbes pulls it in and wants to go herself and gets the favourable roll. First attempt, first bucket. It's taken this part of 11 minutes. Mackenzie Forbes is underway.
Good sign, though, to get some other people, like I said, underway for scoring for the Pouākai, and getting her downhill with a wide open driving lane in transition is definitely where she wants to be.
There's Dunn now, trying to get it up and over. Brown, it's another opportunity. Needing some help. It comes from D'Angelo. She's fighting her way past Can. Veteran point guard does well. And the Pouākai in possession.
Yeah, you like that defensive position there for the Pouākai. Made Aaliyah Dunn's life really hard, throwing that double at her, and she was a little bit uncomfortable with that pressure. And Michaela Can making Chelsea D'Angelo's life hard, taking her scoring threat away, and it's an empty position for the Hoiho.
Forbes gets the screen from right now on the elbow, no good. Here's D'Angelo now, taking on a increased offensive role. Perhaps the pass was the better option there, gets called for the travel.
Yeah, tough start for Chelsea D'Angelo in this quarter. Given her performance in the first, they've obviously thrown a little bit of adjustments to her, applying a bit more pressure and making her life a little bit harder, thus making the Hoiho's life a bit harder.
Forbes. Pass to Rabadi on the baseline, looking for options, finds McGoldrick, extra pass. Forbes likes that spot, leaves it a little short. Bowman with the rebound. At 9 threes on Sunday. Mackenzie Forbes, that was her first three-point attempt. I'm sure there'll be a few more tonight. It's done. Dishes it off to Cho. Calling for the screen, didn't come, loses her footing, and they're going to call a foul on Michaela Can, her second.
Bit of a mismatch there. Obviously, Michaela Can giving up a few inches on Natalie Cho. Like her aggressiveness and being physical, trying to stay in front. Just needs to be a little bit careful now. Up to 2 fouls on today.
There's the double team at Bradley. It's got to be someone free. Bowman, good work. And gets it out to Dunn eventually. Late in the clock, Cho's got to put up a prayer. It is wild. So the double team works on that occasion, Maya.
Absolutely. Well executed. Couple of positions here for the Pouākai. I think that's been their intention on the on-ball coverage as Shana Party knocks the second triple down.
A deep one of that too.
Again, like you said, she's been massive coming off the bench. Someone being able to rebound the ball well, defend above her size, be in that darker spot and execute under the rim, but also hit some threes. That is the perfect piece coming off the bench for the Pouākai. And she's been, you know, playing some serious minutes, averaging just over 20 minutes a game, I believe, which is, you know, a huge responsibility for her.
Yeah, just averaging a shade under 9 points, Shana Rabati. A season high 13 points, round 6 against the Queens as a timeout is called. Already up to 8 points tonight.
Could be a wild card throw in for one of the most improved contenders. I think she's taken a huge step up from last season. Obviously was influential last season, but I think she looks a whole step better.
And those awards will roll around in due course as we wind down to the business end of the season. As the coaches talk through their timeouts there. Todd Marshall, Paul Flynn, supported by Coach Mate. Level up your coaching games. Scan that QR code there and download the app. Some great tips and coaching drills in regards to not only the sport of basketball, various sports that can help at a community, grassroots, junior, senior level. And his assistant coach, Josh Thompson, no stranger to just getting a bit of feedback from the coin officials.
Just having some friendly words.
Yeah. No doubt, just a bit of clarification. It is probably a point of concern for the Pouākai, their foul situation, and no doubt would have been something discussed not only at that timeout, but at quarter time. Still haven't quite made the adjustment, perhaps.
It's been somewhat fortuitous for the Pouākai, having 6 fouls in Tauihi League as opposed to 5. They tend to have players in foul trouble early, so 3 starters on 2 is not too much of a threat with the comfort of having 4 more to commit.
Oh, Elise Hurst. Read it like yesterday's paper. Unfortunate there for the Pouākai, having set the trap somewhat with a double team again at Bradley. Dunn missed the bunny.
Yeah, Elise Hurst is super good at anticipating and getting in passing lanes.
And missed the... No, they have spotted the kick ball. I was going to say it was right in front of us, but Brad Clive's got it covered. Take a look there. Rabati. Guilty party. And 7-point buffer here for the Pouākai. As Forbes gets the inbound. Cassandra Brown back into the ball game as well. Waiting for an option. There's Hurst again. And she'll reel it in. And pull up from 3. Oh, that would have been a serious passage of play there. Elise Hurst hasn't quite had the shooting night so far, but having an impact in different ways with some tips and steals.
Yeah, you like to see the fact that she's able to contribute effectively elsewhere, but like you said, considered a shooter. 0 from 4 from the 3-point line tonight. Is Ezra McGoldrick going to work on the offensive glass? You kind of start to think they're missing Zoe Richards right now.
Yeah, out with what was described as whiplash on the player status report. A nasty, unfortunate collision with Mari Thomas against the Kahu. As McGoldrick makes the first. Another who probably warrants consideration for the most improved player conversation, Ezra McGoldrick. Did have a really good 2023 season, I suppose, as well, and just taking it up. Been another consistent season from her. I think that 7-block performance that you missed while you're away, Maya.
I'm so sad I missed that. That is the worst game to miss in the season. But yeah, 12 points a game, almost 3 assists, 7 rebounds, 1.5 steals, and second in the league in blocks. So a very versatile piece Ezra's been.
Good find there, done to Cho. Doesn't go. Another offensive rebound, though, for the Hoiho. Bowman, and it rattles in off the glass. And Coach Marshall very happy about the intensity and energy at that end, creating some second looks.
And that's what the Hoiho do, especially Sammy Bowman, third in the league in rebounding, known for her ability to crash the boards and create second chance opportunities in that sense. Up to 7 now on the day, and 2 of those coming from Sammy Bowman. Only 1 second chance point, though. Maybe up to 8 and 3 actually in that figure. But you know, the Pouākai quite fortunate that the Hoiho haven't quite stamped their mark in terms of that stat. But you know, as shot starts to fall and momentum switches, that could be a whole different second half.
Yeah, it's a noticeable discrepancy, isn't it, between field goal attempts. 8 of 32 now, the Hoiho. The Pouākai with 11 less, 10 of 21. And as you say, Maya, that could catch up eventually if they can make the most of these second chances. Mackenzie Forbes doesn't need a second invitation, does she? That's her first 3 of the night. Is that the catalyst for her to springboard into another hot shooting night after a 39-point game last week?
I'm sure the Hoiho hope not.
Double-digit lead, biggest lead of the ball game all of a sudden after a pretty tight first quarter. The pressure again coming on Dunn. Whistle comes, and no, foul on Brown. They were determined to hear the 3 in the key call there. The Pouākai didn't come.
You can just see, you know, they're kind of recognising the fact that Aaliyah hasn't played a lot so far without Zoe Richards being in the lineup, and she's obviously a bit younger. She's played a lot of netball and, you know, not heaps of basketball experience. So you can see the way they're trying to make her uncomfortable and making her life hard. A great netballer at that, though.
Absolutely. She's got quite the athletic CV, Aaliyah Dunn. Of course, was with the Tokomanawa Queens, but now with the Southern Hoiho. And it certainly is a different type of shooting, isn't it? Going from that sort of netball position at goal shoot to more mobile basketball environments. As Hurst has to blow by Forbes and gets the favourable roll. Back-to-back buckets for the Hoiho.
Nice adjustment from Elise Hurst as well, like we said, not having a lot of luck from the three-point line tonight, but attacking now and making herself more of a playmaker. As a quiet night from Paige Bradley by her standards, only 2 points, so having to have some more offensive load as Elise Hurst, and that's going to be the second foul on Aaliyah Dunn.
Yeah, I thought it might have been called on Bowman there. It would have been her third. Hayley Rynell, 11 points in the first quarter. Adding to that here in the seconds. Ashley Strawbridge into the game too for the Pouākai.
Yeah, well, it's interesting for these bench pieces. By the end of their next game against the Queens, there's no more rapid league, so they're important to still get game reps up because they may be needed at some point in the playoffs. Nice to see them getting some minutes early and still maintaining those reps.
Dunn wide open, slipping off that screen. Can't get it to go. And rebounded by Strawbridge. Forbes opts against the 3. A strong drive, can't get it to go. Tips it back, and it'll be last touch by the Pouākai. Can't believe the call, Mackenzie Forbes. Bobbled around. I feel like the Pouākai are living with the Aaliyah Dunn shot attempts. They're almost not teasing them into that option, but trying to encourage it nonetheless.
Absolutely. I think they can take a little bit of attention off of her and throw it at their, you know, their other members of this Hoiho squad, like the one with the ball right now as Hayley Rynell gets her hands in the mix. Aaliyah Dunn 0 of 3 from the field right now. So they've done a pretty good job at containing her effectiveness, and in all fairness as well, Paige Bradley only 2 points and actually only 2 shot attempts as well. That's a really good effort.
Hoiho fighting for survival, of course, and a loose ball there, swallowed up by McGoldrick. Oh, great work again. Elise Hurst has been absolutely everywhere from a defensive perspective as Brown hits the ground and is tied up there with Bradley. It'll stay with the Pouākai. How about the impact of Elise Hurst, just making a nuisance of herself constantly?
Yeah, she's really good in those passing lanes, anticipates really well. She's got a couple of steals out of that and a few deflections, which completely disrupts offense as we see the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay of this fight for the rebound. That's going to be offensive rebound number 6 for the Pouākai, 10 for the Hoiho. So, like we said, a large part of actually both of these teams' identities, and there's always a battle for the boards. Just a shot clock issue there, sorted. 10 seconds for the Pouākai.
Strawbridge gets it to Brown. Tyler Mitchell in front. So we screen there, Brown. It's out of Cabillo real late in the shot clock now. Got to get something up. And doesn't touch the rim. Should be a shot clock violation. And lead coin official Matt Bathurst all across that. Interesting little time in the game here, Mile. Just a shade under 2 minutes to play in the half. Slipped away to a 9-point margin now. A couple of stops, a couple of buckets. Hoiho still very much in this.
Absolutely. I mean, the scoring has just slowed significantly because Chelsea D'Angelo stopped her heater. Elise Hurst has not had a lot of luck as I say that. The classic commentators curse.
Needed that.
They did need that indeed.
Both Hurst and the Hoiho, you feel. Had a bit of momentum for the Australian. There's Cabillo. Finds Brown. Quick catch and release. Bank stays closed.
Quite night for Brown as well. Only 3 shot attempts at that and 0 from 2 from the three-point line as Elise Hurst on a little bit of a heater at the moment.
Yeah, that was a strong finish off to the left. So 5 quick points for Hurst. And they're going to bring Michaela Can back in, the Pouākai. I'll let a mark on Hurst as McGoldrick stops the Hoiho's momentum.
Yeah, great sign for the Pouākai as that lead started to slip away a little bit, just giving them a bit more of a comfortable cushion.
Cho was open, so too Hurst. Cho gets it back. There is Hurst again. Oh, rattles in and out. Brown with the rebound.
That's great looks though, right? Offensive rebound for the Hoiho, a wide open 3 for Hurst. That is encouraging and exactly what the Hoiho are looking for.
Right now, can't get that one to go. Again, really hard for either team to get the rebound in it straight away as Bradley just barrels into Cabillo. Got to be an offensive foul, and it is.
Abby Cabillo is so good at that, just getting her body in front. We see that on the replay. Ouch, that looked sore.
No, for the first time tonight as well, we saw almost the carbon copy in Sky Broadband Rapid League. She is one tough customer, Abby Cabillo.
And it makes 3 fouls for Paige Bradley, who will inevitably have to take a seat.
And a player timeout, BNZ player timeout called by the Pouākai. 7.8 seconds to go. Still, of course, time to get your tickets to the big game, penultimate round of the regular season. Scan that QR code there for more information, your chance to win tickets. Sporting teams, community groups in and along. There's some future stars tomorrow enjoying our stars of today, along with the Pouākai mascot. Always setting the tone from an atmosphere perspective.
Pretty fly for a Pouākai.
Fly, yeah, nice.
Thanks, I made that one up on the spot.
Right now gets it back from Can. Cabillo shuffles away to the left. Looks good, is good. Perfect execution. And they're elated with that. The training move comes to fruition on the big stage. And the coin officials are just going to see if there's anything left. 6 tenths of a second, I believe, as we take another look at the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. But our play design executed to perfection. Enough time, though, for another BNZ player timeout.
How good is that for the Pouākai, though, as Hoiho creeps back into it a little bit. 2 back-to-back triples to put it back to 10 points going into the halftime mark. But you can imagine there's going to be some words at halftime. This is where the Pouākai were, you know, a few weeks ago, and it was a massive swing. So, you know, complacency, there's no room for it in this league and here in Cowles Stadium tonight either.
Put 6 seconds up, which is to be incorrect. It should be 0.6. Hopefully that'll be remedied. We shall wait and see. No, they are, yeah, the coin officials are aware of the issue there. And that'll do it for the opening 20 minutes. And it is the Mainland Pouākai, the home team, who get back out by 10. Hayley Rynell with a strong start. 13 points. Ezra McGoldrick chiming in with 9. Rabadi off the bench, 2 with 8. 11 points apiece for Chelsea D'Angelo and Elise Hurst to keep the Hoiho within arm's reach. As we send it down to Maya Williamson, she's standing by with Hayley Rynell.
All right, great first half for both you and your team. What do you think worked well for you?
I would just say sharing the ball, and we're doing really good with player communication. And I think if we buckle down on defense and clean up the O boards, I think that we'll close out this next half.
Absolutely. You had this lead a couple of weeks ago, and then it slipped away from you guys against the Hoiho. What's kind of the important things in the second half to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Yeah, that's not happening again at all. You'll see in the second half, but that's not happening again.
Okay. Thanks, Hayley.
They'll walk off interview. We'll see if the Pouākai can deliver on that promise there from Hayley right now as we take a break here on Sky Sport. Plenty more to come from Cowles Stadium in Christchurch as the Pouākai seek their 4th straight win in Tauihi Aotearoa.
Oh, no. Can't wait. Heck yeah.
Well, welcome back to Cowles Stadium in Christchurch, where the crowd here have been treated to some superb halftime entertainment. Nick Bueller here with Maya Williamson alongside the Mainland Pouākai, leading by 10 against the Southern Hoiho. Are they marching towards a 4th straight win? Maya Williamson, I'll tell you who's been a big part of that. You spoke to her there at the halftime break, Hayley Rynell, as we take a look inside the Pouākai changing sheds, and Hayley Rynell, 13 points. A little bit quieter there in the second, got off to a really explosive start in the first, but what did you like so much about the way she went around her work?
First of all, not going to slide right past that dad joke. You said you soft launched the hard joke
soft
to me
launch,
at halftime. Yeah, that was all right. Hayley Rynell, yeah, huge first half. More so, like you said, the first quarter, 11 points, came out firing. They kind of contained her a little bit in that second, but super aggressive in her scoring attempt. 1-3 for her, and a lot of activity in the paint and around the rim. Also with that, 7 rebounds and a couple of assists as well. So she's been, you know, huge in complementing her team's success. Surprisingly, Mackenzie Forbes only 5 points and up to 6 shot attempts now, but was pretty quiet for the starting. But yeah, Hayley Rynell, to no surprise, has been huge for them. Ezra McGoldrick had some nice contributions at the tail end there. Sian Rabati, I like what I saw from her coming off the bench. Chelsea D'Angelo also had a huge first quarter, and then Elise Hurst caught fire as well. The rebounds have been the tail of the tape for the Hoiho all season long, and against the Pouākai especially. 12 offensive rebounds for them. Sharing the ball a little bit. Both teams are pretty even in their assist-to-turnover ratio. And a couple of blocks. Surprised to not see Ezra McGoldrick's name there, but
used them all up against the Fire a week or so ago.
And Elise Hurst, what a defensive effort from her.
That was the bit I was going to add, although, you know, it stands out that 11 points and her 3-point shooting. Her impact on the defensive end cannot be understated. They got back to within 4, couple of big threes to close out the half there for the Pouākai. Still plenty more twists you feel to come in this tale over the course of the next 20 minutes of basketball here at Cowles Stadium. Don't go anywhere. The second half up next. Ooh la la. Second half, moments away here in the Cowles Stadium in Christchurch. Somewhat fittingly during that ad break, Myers, and staying alive, being played by the BGs. It's very much the tale for the Southern Hoiho, sitting bottom of the table, need to win to still stay in the hunt for a finals place. Very much fighting with the Five field for that 4th spot. No real movement there for mine from memory on that mix and pick poll. Still a lot of love for the home team.
Absolutely, and just no complacency is going to be required here for the Pouākai. Obviously spoke to Hayley Rynell about that at half-time. She didn't like that very much. She was very adamant that it's not going to happen again.
I like the confidence. I like the swagger. That's what we see quite a lot from our players coming from abroad, particularly in America. They're happy to, you know, walk the walk, talk the talk.
Absolutely. She just said, you just watch. She pointed at the camera and said, you just watch.
Well,
and
we're here.
Yeah, you like that very much, and I'm sure the fans here in Cowles Stadium would definitely not like to witness another, I guess, chokage, you could say, that the Pouākai hosted a few weeks ago, and that was just an unexpected second half, I think, for the both of us, Nick and the Hoiho going to have to pull something special out the bag, especially that woman there, Paige Bradley. A quiet night for her, only 2 points.
The 3 fouls as well, feel
Absolutely.
like playing on her mind too at the other end. But yeah, if we look back at that night, October 27, when the Hoiho did stun the Pouākai here in this very gym, 78-69, was Paige Bradley, 17 points, 6 assists. Sammy Bowman, she averages a double-double. She got one that night, 14 points, 13 rebounds. She's been a little bit quiet too by her standards, has had to do some significant work on the rebounding side of things. No Zoe Richards, of course.
Absolutely. I think with the lack of Zoe Richards and Sammy Gallagher, there's a lot of load placed on these starters, specifically offensively, but then defensive assignments as well, which require a lot of energy.
There's just a little bit of confusion there. They're saying it's in. Paige Bradley saying it's different. It should be Hoiho ball to start the half. The ball's in. Brown, Bowman in front, driving. Doesn't go. Rebounded by Dunn. He's done well from that perspective. There's Bowman. Match up with Rynell. She loves that spin move, Sammy Bowman.
She's so efficient at that. So great operating out of that back-to-basket situation. A couple of dribbles to back down and then turning over her shoulder off the glass. I think the Hoiho needed that bucket, and they'll need more of that from Sammy Bowman if they want to come back in this ball game.
Can getting caught a touch. The offense still a little stagnant. Late in the clock here. McGoldrick leaves it short, but Can with the hand. Well, almost a deja vu in a very similar spot. Elise Hurst with that similar intervention in the first half.
Surprising. It's been a very efficient night for the Hoiho on the turnover front. That's only their 5th turnover in a half of basketball. They're just not coming at the right time. They can't seem to inch any closer than double digits.
There's Bradley, and that is going to do the world of good for her game. Just the 2 points in the first half. And that first 3 of the night. Much needed for the visitor.
Yeah, encouraging signs for, you know, both her but the Hoiho squad as well. Just widens their offense and stretches the Pouākai defense. If she can get going as well, and then extends that pressure from Hurst.
Hurst with the burst. Back-to-back buckets of the Hoiho. 10-point lead halved.
Yeah, very surprising night for Elise Hurst. 1 from 6 from beyond the arc, but 4 from 6 now from 2-point land. So actually finding her success in a different way than she usually does.
And the 3-point shooting's gone a bit cold for the home team. The Pouākai started well in that first half. They made 16 threes last week. It's the 5 so far tonight. Close to that season average. There's Cho. Oh, strong finish, taking the contact. Paul Flynn's seen enough. 7-0 run.
There you have it. In 3 minutes or 2.5 minutes, the Hoiho showing signs of what they did last time, and I think them stretching their offense to the threat of Paige Bradley, and then unfortunately for the Pouākai, Cass Brown, 0 points, 0 from 4. She's up there in scoring for both the league and the Pouākai, 17 points again, 6 in the league in scoring, so for her to be completely scoreless, not encouraging whatsoever for the Pouākai, and everything kind of gone right for the Hoiho. But don't worry, Fly Like a Pouākai is still very enthused.
She's gone past us. Yeah, it takes quite a bit. Fly Like a Pouākai to have his or her energy dented. But look, this has been some run for the Hoiho, and just what they were after, and not relying on one player. Bradley gets going with the 3. Elise Hurst with a strong drive. Natalie Cho with a much-needed bucket as well. They're certainly capable. They'll remember the 27th of October. They know it can be done. And they know their season's on the line.
That's the big one for them, right, is the fact that a loss here could potentially eliminate their chances at going into that Final Four. And equally for the Pouākai, they want that home final, and they want to make sure they solidify a placing that could potentially be at the top of the table, as Mackenzie Forbes looking a bit more consistent. 7 points now.
Yeah, perfect after timeout play too, but Elise Hurst says, well, you can do, I'll take it up a notch. The 3, the hand in her face. Starting to get going here in the third. Brown desperate to see the ball go through the hoop. Again, a miss for her. And all of a sudden, the Hoiho could level it up. Seemed quite a wee way away at the break. Bowman. Tyler Mitchell into the fray. Bradley. Match up here with Can. She'll get the screen from Dunn. 4 on the shot clock. Takes the contact from Brown. Forced a tough look. Good work that time for the Pouākai. Can now. But Mitchell gets in the way. End to end. Hurst. And the foul on Brown. And a shake of the head. Frustration creeping in for the home team.
Yeah, messy couple of possessions. Obviously had that nice bucket for Mackenzie going downhill on her right hand, and you kind of thought that maybe things were shaping up once again after that timeout, but then a couple of messy turnovers, and obviously that foul there for Cass Brown, putting her on 3 fouls and up to 9 turnovers for the Pouākai. That's seemingly been a little bit of an issue for them over their last couple of matchups.
Mitchell hits it to her, similar spot. This one's away to the right by quite the distance. Bowman, though, staying with it. Ends up with McGoldrick. Here come the Pouākai on the fast break. Rynell. Easy layup up to 15. And look at the Hoiho. Look at the intent. Hurst, catch and shoot. Bowman, another offensive rebound. Mitchell. The defense chant rings around Cowles. D'Angelo back in the game. And a moving screen on Sammy Bowman. Just stymies the momentum for the Hoiho.
That was an intense possession, and we saw Paige Bradley push in transition, which is, you know, very much within her identity. And of course, an offensive rebound for Sammy Bowman, just leaving that position empty though, which the Pouākai will be thankful for.
There's Forbes again on that curl to the right. Gets it to Can, a rare 3-point attempt for her. That makes the Hoiho pay.
And just like that, they've kind of grabbed back a hold of that momentum, forcing the Hoiho to perform now.
There's that double team again on Bradley. D'Angelo open, good closeout. McGoldrick stayed with D'Angelo, got a piece of it. Forbes, must be a big bucket, and instead gets a foul. She'll shoot 2 from the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
Chelsea D'Angelo throwing her arms up in frustration. Ezra heard what I said about at halftime about her not being on the block list. And finally got one to go. Then Mackenzie Forbes at the Chemist Warehouse stripe. It's amazing. Just a couple of minutes and the Pouākai have regained that momentum that they lost coming out of half-time. And getting defensive stops has been the biggest part of that.
We're going deep into the bag of cliches here, but there's a game of runs. And really evident the multiple runs here in the third quarter. This one now back the way of the Pouākai. Closed it right up the Hoiho. Now it's back out to 9. And the crowd engaged. Bradley from 3. Back of the iron. Long rebound for Can. Brown trying to get around Mitchell, trying to get the pass to Rynell. Another turnover. That might be their 10th.
Indeed, number 10 for the Pouākai, just handing the Hoiho chances to eliminate this lead. And there goes Sammy Bowman, efficient on the offensive glass, as always. Number 6. Nick.
And her 10th rebound now for Samantha Bowman, right near her average. As Forbes looks good off the hand. Hand down, man down. Her second 3. Into double digits. She goes with 12. D'Angelo. Oh, nice little shimmy move to create some separation. Can't get the finish. I wonder if a timeout is coming here from coach Todd Marshall. Brown. Oh, great work, Tyler Mitchell.
That's a massive defensive stop for the Hoiho. Could have been a 12-point lead, but it's kept at 10. And I agree, a timeout must be looming if this goes any further.
Take a second look on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay, and it's great work by the young local player on the import out of Canada. Cabillo to Forbes. Just evades done over to Rynell. Rabadi has had a 3-point party tonight, but that one's hit the front iron.
Curious to see what the Hoiho do here. Chelsea D'Angelo has not scored since that massive first quarter that she had, and Abby Cabillo whistled for that foul. And still, Paige Bradley sitting pretty quiet. Nick, only 5 points, that 1 3-pointer at the start of this quarter.
Yeah, you felt like that was going to be the moment, right? The spark for her to have the green light to go. As that one evades everyone out of bounds. And we're basically back to where we started at half-time, with that double-digit lead restored. Strong screen there, and a moving screen at that. Hayley Rynell.
I like the intention there to get Mackenzie Forbes attacking downhill off the on-ball screen, but just a little bit too physical as Hayley Rynell, and gives Hoiho another chance.
And that might have been last touch by Hurst. That's just a loose handle. And the hands go to the head for coach Todd Marshall. Still not calling that timeout. Wants to see the 5 on the floor sort this out themselves. Bradley, Bowman, Dunn, Hurst, and D'Angelo as Can finds Rynell, and she's fouled. Basket won't count for the act of shooting.
Again, Hayley recognising that Aaliyah Dunn is playing her quite high and using her speed advantage to see that she can get that backdoor cut and help defence, just rotating over a little bit too late.
Slight delay here as someone to inbound the ball. Eventually, Mackenzie Forbes volunteers herself. Can. Again, right now calling for it. Got the mismatch with Bradley. Gets it. The double team comes. Rabadi will shoot and will make. Sean Rabadi having a big night at the home gym.
That is massive. 3 from 4 now. And that one had a massive hand in her face too. Unfazed Sian Rabadi. And if that's going in, everything's working for the Pouākai at the moment.
Forbes now, quick catch and shoot, way off. There's D'Angelo. Real acceleration to split the defence of Forbes and Rynell. Need that and some, the Hoiho.
I think, you know, personally, Chelsea D'Angelo wouldn't need that too. Like I mentioned, having not scored since the first quarter, nice for her to see something go through the bottom of the net as Sian Rabadi can't get that one to go. They'll need another bucket here for Hoiho.
Loose handle, D'Angelo, and then commits the foul. Might even been unsportsmanlike as well. We might chat it over the coin officials. And Brad Clive's going to say there's a clear attempt at the ball, is it? Another look at the turnover way behind the back from Mackenzie Forbes. And Coach Flynn just clarifying. You reckon she went for the ball there?
You just feel as though the Hoiho very much are missing a piece, right? Like, there's just something that's missing from both their offense and their defense, and it's really hard to operate with that dynamic.
Another turnover, though, for the Pouākai. Just leaving the door slightly ajar here. Bradley, lovely find. D'Angelo, McGoldrick knew she committed the foul. Chelsea D'Angelo will head to the Chemist Warehouse.
Loving the way that D'Angelo has stepped up tonight into a bigger scoring role than she typically does, and has realised the absence of Zoe has created an opportunity for herself. Averages 11 points a game, already up to 13. And Elise Hurst, a notable one that's also stepped up. 4 steals for her tonight already, and 16 points as well to go with that.
Back to single figures, 9-point game. 90 seconds to go in the third quarter. Rabadi, D'Angelo gambled, recovery there defensively, and the whistle comes. And the foul's going to be called on Elise Hurst. That's her third. So Hurst joins D'Angelo, Bowman and Bradley on 3 fouls. Of course, it's 6 fouls before the night is done, so too bad of a position to be in. But it is free throws from here on in the remainder of the quarter for the Pouākai.
14 of 16 from the Chemist Warehouse stripe, and as I say that, so I'll shut up now. Cool.
There you go.
Life's just better when I shut my mouth, apparently.
Well, not in this line of work, but yeah, redeem yourself there as Hurst likes that spot on the left wing. Early shot. And another offensive rebound. Lovely pass too by Alea Dunn, but Hurst can't make it off the glass. And it's just dried up for the Hoiho. Pouākai maintaining this lead of in and around 9 to 12 points. He's right out into Rabadi. Cabillo, she'll go for it and makes it. The three-point shooting is starting to come to the fore for the Mainland Pouākai. Abby Cabillo now in on the act.
That's their 10th 3 of the ball game now. 10 from 22, had a dry spell. Back in the ball game, you can see the way that momentum shifts and your confidence starts to rise, and with that, so does the lead.
Right now from the corner, of course, still no timeout from the Hoiho. It's drifting away. 16 points the lead.
Daggers.
D'Angelo late in the third, not a great 3. Do they want the timeout? They're going to opt against. Forbes rifles it down court. Well, they took the punch, the Pouākai, and they threw a couple back themselves to open up their biggest lead of the night. 16 points now. They lead 68-52. 4 players in double-digit scoring, a long way back for the Southern Hoiho with 10 minutes to go. A quarter to go here at Cowles Stadium in Christchurch. Pouākai heading towards what might be their 4th win on the bounce. Found form at the perfect time.
Yeah, been very encouraging for the Pouākai. The large third quarter that they had, typically the weak spot in basketball, especially when you have a lead. We saw it happen last time with the Hoiho started to make inroads, and they are severely trailing this time around.
What of the Hoiho got left in the tank? A turnover, not the start they would have liked to the 4th. Can. Brown. It's been a quiet night for the Canadians, still on 0 points in fact. Can, a little running floater, tipped back by Brown. Can, Rabadi from downtown. The crowd say it all. And that might match her season high. Sian Rabadi up to 14 points.
And notably 4 from 5 from the three-point line. That is extremely efficient. What a piece off the bench she's been as Sammy Bowman gets that easy bucket. It's not quite enough for the Hoiho at the moment. They need to string together some stops.
Excuse me, it is a new season high. Clips in the mark. She sets against the Queens back in round 6, 13. You add it to the 12 points you had in Sky Broadband Rapid League. It's been some haul, some return. Brown late in the clock. Cabillo gonna have to put it up late. Just beats the clock. Rabadi and Dunn fight for it under the hoop. And that effort's going to be rewarded for the Pouākai. It'll be their possession.
Love the rebounding efforts of Aaliyah Dunn tonight, though. 10, 11 rebounds in that sense.
Hayley right now getting most of the love so far on our MVP poll via Mix and Pick. Sian Rabadi, a vote or two there for her season highs. Michaela Can. Anticipation there and hustle to get back. Force another turnover on the visitors. Here is Rabadi. Is she after more? The selflessness of this Pouākai unit, though. Always looking for the best option. And the creativity and craft there of the experienced Michaela Can on show. Draws the foul. Slows things down a touch. Certainly in the position they want to be in, up 17. She'll head to the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
So good at getting herself to that Chemist Warehouse stripe. That's her 4th foul that she's drawn tonight. Like we said, just that veteran experience, the demeanour, calm demeanour at the end of the shot clock to just go and get her own. And a little bit better on the free throw front this time around.
Yeah, uncharacteristic to say the least, the 2 misses tonight. Came into this contest with 2 misses for the season. Left that one hanging as well. It's out to a 19-point lead now. And I wonder whether the Hoiho can find it within themselves to continue the fight, certainly in their identity. Kayla can't believe the foul is going to be called on her there, despite her sliding across the Cowles gymnasium. Paul Flynn with quite a humorous look on his face as well, Pouākai coach. He's saying she was still moving, Maya. You're the up-and-coming coach.
I'm not a referee, though. That's a whole different ball game. I'll leave the referee chat to Casey Frank. Shout out, Casey.
Bradley makes the first. It's got to start now for the Hoiho. Next assignment is a stop for them. Still with the bulk of their starters on the floor. Throwing in the towel just yet. As Brown finally gets something to go her way. Cassandra Brown, her first bucket.
And yeah, after being 0 for 7, nice to see something go for her, just to keep her reps up and keep the offense stretched for the Pouākai. The Hoiho having a different night. Chelsea D'Angelo having a little bit more luck. She's now 35% from the field after having that really hot start.
Yeah, nice use of the backboard there. Up to 17 points now. D'Angelo leading the scoring for the Hoiho. Step on Mitchell, curling to the right. A late whistle. The foul's going to be on the rebound. I believe it'll go against Tyler Mitchell. No Hayley Rynell in this fourth quarter for the Pouākai. I did see Myers just sort of indicating she might have a lower leg issue. Might be on ice for the remainder of this game, with one more regular season contest to come back in this gym next Friday night against the Queens. And then, of course, very much in the finals picture, looking for home court advantage, top 2 teams.
Absolutely, makes it a lot more fun having those home finals. And you can see Hayley Rynell, who we were speaking about at the top of the mix and pick game MVP, 18 points and 10 rebounds. It's been a night for her. And how was that start from her 11 points in the first quarter? Just came alive. Set
the tone, didn't it, for the evening. As Mitchell, not far away there, on the top of the key. McGoldrick with the rebound. As Forbes gets to work, and a timeout does come. I wonder if it's a little too late on that front there from Coach Todd Marshall. 19 points, the deficit. Pouākai looking the goods. Of course, you can catch all the highlights of the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi Aotearoa action every Tuesday night here on Sky. Plenty still to come across the weekends. It is anyone's guess in terms of where these, well, our top 3 teams at least are going to finish in terms of their order. The Pouākai looking on track here for their 7th win. The Queens still a game in hand. And on their 6 wins as well. The Kahu on the 6 wins. Would you like to make a prediction, or are you afraid of making one?
I mean, famously, I'm terrible at giving predictions. I think I'll stay far away from that. But it is going to be interesting, that game next Friday against the Queens here for the Pouākai. That's a massive one for both teams. Obviously, it's a 2-0 battle right now, but it's been close all the way through. The points percentage is 2% difference. The Queens are 2% ahead of the Pouākai. So obviously everything matters in that matchup and the matchups they have between that. But that's what you want, man. It's been such a great competition so far.
Certainly has, and it's a massive weekend next weekend for the Queens, because after they're here in the Garden City taking on the Pouākai next Friday, then it's up north to face the Kahu, the final regular season game. on Sunday week, which again could very much determine the order of the finals. As McGoldrick, lovely baseline cut, reverse layup. She's just quietly gone about her business again. Ezra McGoldrick up to 12 points.
12 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals. That's a solid performance for her, playing a nice role tonight.
D'Angelo hasn't stopped trying. That's a really nice find. Easy finish for Bowman. One team certainly will be comforted by this outcome. Well, this likely outcome would have to be the Tauranga Fire as well. A bit of breathing space there in that 4th spot as they look to try and create some momentum down the stretch. They're very much a team too, Maya, as we've seen here in this very gym, who can, you know, they're very much a 3-point shooting team. That's their identity, and if they get hot, they can compete with any of the teams up the top of the table.
100%. It's not been a lack of competition from there, and it's probably just a, you know, lack of execution down the stretch, and, you know, there's multiple facets in being able to win a basketball game, and, you know, they showed with that massive win over the Kahu that they are, you know, able to get it done, and it's going to be important how they execute down the stretch here, but that's the great thing about the playoffs, is that, you know, these teams are going to face off each other, whoever that may be, and it's going to be a great contest. No matter who leads and who has the home advantage, it's still going to be a great game.
Hayley Rynell back in, so that's an encouraging sign too for Pouākai fans. As Bradley gets it to Bowman, and Bradley will fire away herself. Nothing really to lose at this point. Down 21. Great work from Alia Dunn. Fighting again for another offensive rebound. Puts it up and in.
That's her 6th offensive rebound of the night, showing her netball skills coming into handy. I believe she's a Southland Hall of Famer for netball. Not sure why I know about the Southland Hall of Fame, but Kapai Alia.
McGoldrick, the 3-point shooting procession here in the second half continues. That's their 13th. Proving that last week against the Queens when they dropped 16 was no fluke. Forbes in motion. They're going to say it's a travel.
Gave him a little face.
Yeah.
And she's up to a quiet 16 now as well, so had a quieter first quarter and then has just slowly chipped away. That's the great thing about this Pouākai squad, right? 5 players in double digits. Such an even scoring spread.
Yeah, and the 14 points in 16 minutes from Sean Rabati. Yes, so crucial as Forbes gets a piece of that attempt from Bowman. Here they come the other way, the Pouākai. Can she get it done at the other end? Forbes would have been the exclamation point on an already impressive night. Oh, there's a bit of words actually as well. I don't know if you saw that, Maya. A bit of an indication there. Maybe just have a wee look at the scoreboard. Might have got a bit of lip from the Hoiho bench.
I mean, it's not a terrible comeback from Mackenzie Forbes, you know. The proof is in the pudding, as you may say.
Hayley Rynell still out in front. Looks like she'll be our mix and pick poll MVP. Not surprised. But as you alluded to, Maya, having 5 players in double-digit scoring, it's very much a champion team, potentially, rather than a team of champions in terms of sharing the ball, sharing the load. It'll be anyone's night.
Sure, I think we've seen a variety of game MVPs. I think we may have seen 4. Michaela Cam, Mackenzie Forbes, Ezra McGoldrick might have won 1. Hayley Rynell's won 1, and Cass Brown, I think, won 1 as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, you could just see it's anyone's night, and some players have better matchups than others, and that makes it really hard to guard and hard to stop.
Can to Rynell. She'll fire away from 3. Rattles around, and another rebound from Alia Dunn. Sean Rabati ready to sub in. There's just a shade over 3 minutes to go. Pouākai up by 20. D'Angelo back of the iron, long rebound from Brown. And the stings just out of this contest a touch, Maya. But the Pouākai, one thing they need to keep in mind, and I'm sure that's a big reason why a lot of the starters are still in this ball game is the for and against situation. If it does come down to that, you want it to be as healthy as possible. Every possession counts.
100%, and I think Hayley Rynell understands that assignment and her attempt there, getting downhill, getting the nice touch off the glass, but for sure, like we spoke about, that playoff run just so close. Every point matters, especially when they're coming up against the Queens, whose points percentage is a little bit more favourable than theirs. It's super important the way they keep chugging on.
What a contact off the ball there, and it's going to go against Michaela Can. So take a look at Cassandra Brown there. Subs are about to come in. Brown's going to check out, as is Ezra McGoldrick. I think we've been calling on a sub for the last couple of minutes. It's pretty exhausting. We're going to have a timeout in actual fact with 2:17 to play, called by Hoiho coach Marshall.
And I think for them, the points percentage thing is equally as important. There may be some statistical chance they can still pip it.
And the permutation's still there, okay.
Possibly. I had to get a fact check on that one, but regardless, you still want to end the game at a high standard.
Absolutely.
Saw that famously throughout the year from Judge Flavel. 40-point lead. Still calling timeouts at the end of the game. That's what you want. You want to make sure you can execute it.
Shout out to Judd, by the way. He's got a big fan club down in these parts and got his first win as Tall Blacks coach just down the road at Wolfbrook Arena in Addington on Monday against Chinese Taipei.
The old Tall Blacks officially qualifying for the Asia Cup next year in Saudi Arabia. It was a bit of a messy one, but, you know, we got there in the end.
The dub's a dub.
The dub's a dub. Good bit of sport for the New Zealand. The All Blacks had that one as well this Sunday, and a bit of cricket you were mentioning. Is that right?
Yeah, out at Hagley Oval. Certainly Christchurch, a bit of a sporting mecca at the minute. Basketball on display. We approach the summer and into the cricket at Hagley Oval. But plenty of basketball still to come here on this court. Of course, next Friday night, their final regular season game, the Pouakai against the Queens, and all going well, top two finish, and they'll be back here the following weekend, whether that's the 13th or 14th of December, for a semi-final. And you wouldn't bet against all of a sudden it being a potential Canterbury double or a mainland double after the Rams' feat earlier in the year in the Sal's NBL.
That'd be an exciting time to be a Cantabrian, that's for sure. And it's, yeah, super encouraging to see the way the Pouakai have turned things around a little bit. There's definitely a question mark around the performance at the beginning stages of the season as they kind of found their feet, but what a run they've been on lately.
Yeah, and not only that, the position they were in last year, didn't make the finals. And
just the 2 wins on the season, that was a rough one to bounce back from.
Yep, some real building blocks in terms of the local talent, like Sylvester McGoldrick and Sian Rabadi returning, but a fair amount of change, a new head coach, completely new import look, and yeah, kudos to those making the decisions in and around the assembly of the roster. It's very much a cohesive unit. And they've gone deep down the bench here, which is great to see too, the Pouakai. Tessa Morrison in the ball game late with possession here. Almost gets it to go, and in fact will fight to get it back, just a foot out of bounds. Tara Manu-Malaunga into the action as well.
It's nice to see these guys get a run. You know, they do all the hard work alongside our imports and our starters, and it's cool to see them kind of getting the fruits of their labour. And like I was saying before, they're going to be essential parts of the squad heading into that playoff run. If they are needed, they still need these game reps up.
Very much so. And by and large, you know, the Pouakai do roll with that maybe 6.5 rotation, don't they? And you'd hate to see, you know, an injury at this stage of the season, but you've got to be ready if your calling card comes. Rita Tuilave also going to check in potentially late in this game. She's awaiting some minutes late here. There's Bradley. Oh, great block, Manu-Malaunga. There's that impact. And I'm going to say last touch by the Pouakai. That's going to allow Tuilave to come in. Great night ends for Hayley right now as she checks out for the final time. 22 points, a new season high.
12 rebounds to go along with that as well.
Oh, Paige Bradley slips late. Looks like she's going to be okay. It's back up on her feet, a little ginger. And that's encouraging. The last thing you want to see at this stage of the game. 20 seconds to go. BNZ player timeout is called. And she'll sub out. Hopefully we see Paige Bradley back at the in Hoiho colours later next week.
The Pouākai doing a really good job on containing her strength tonight. Only 7 points for Paige Bradley, who's averaging 17 points a game, 2 from 7 from the field. Still with 5 assists, but also 4 turnovers. So very inconsistent night.
Could be the last possession this for the Hoiho. About a 7-second differential between game and shot clock. D'Angelo just leaves it hanging on the rim, tied it up by Tuilave. The Pouākai push the pace. Morrison, Strawbridge, mid-Canterbury connection. Can't get the 3 to go. And it'll fizzle out. And time will expire here at Cowles Stadium in Christchurch. The Mainland Pouākai march on. Their 4th win on the bounce at the business end of the season. And they momentarily occupied top spot in GJ Gardner Home's Tauihi Aotearoa, their 7th win of the season by 22 points. Final score, Mainland Pouākai 88, Southern Hoiho 66, as we await some post-match reaction. The two sides shaking hands. Pouākai's 2nd win over the Hoiho this season, the first time the home teams actually won in this matchup in season 2024. A big night for Hayley right now. She was our mix and pick poll MVP, a season high 22 points, and as Maya mentioned, to go along with that, 12 rebounds as well. 11 of those points coming in the first quarter. Big contributions too from the likes of Mackenzie Forbes with 16, and a shout out to Sian Rabadi off the bench, the season high 14 points in 18 minutes. Let's send it down to Maya Williamson. She's got our mix and pick poll MVP, Hayley right now.
That was a great win for you guys. How does that feel to get it done in your home crowd?
It feels really good to protect the home floor. That was one of our goals like mid-season, so we got one more to close out on Friday, and I'm just super proud of this squad.
Absolutely. That was a great win, like you said, 20-point win. What do you think went well for you guys today?
I would just say that we moved the ball, and honestly, going into the second half, we really locked down on defense. We had a great defensive third quarter and part of the fourth quarter, which was really huge for us, just keeping them under, underneath the 70s. It's perfect.
Awesome. Congratulations, Hayley. Thank you.
Hayley right now with Maya, and in a sense she'll have a big part to play in the next couple of weeks if the Pouākai are going to continue their winning ways. As we take a look at the key stats courtesy of the Chemist Warehouse, Maya rejoins me back in the commentary position, and again, collective effort. It was Hayley Rynell's night in terms of the leading scorer, but double digits for 5 players. I was just shouting out Sian Rabadi to a season high off the bench.
Yeah, what a night for her as well. 6 rebounds to contribute in within 18 minutes as well. And again, a spread of assists. Michaela Can, a surprisingly low amount of assists for someone who leads the league in scoring. Paige Bradley still did a good job at facilitating, and there was a block party a little bit. Isa McGoldrick found her way on there. Not so much, unfortunately, for the Hoiho. Elise Hurst was a menace defensively, hand to the passing lane, and really gave it a red-hot go. And Isa McGoldrick also getting her limbs in there. As you can see, Ashley Strawbridge very stoked with the win. Little dance party with some of the fans.
Yeah, great to see, as has been the case right across the country in Tauihi Aotearoa Basketball League. Young kids getting the opportunity to meet some of their heroes immediately on full time. That'll just about do us here from Cowles Stadium in Christchurch, where the Pouākai have got the job done, their 4th win on the bounce. Plenty more basketball still to come this weekend. Round 9 of Tauihi action. Next up, Saturday night, the Queens hosting the Phi. Then it's back on to the Hoiho on Sunday afternoon, hosting the Northern Kahu. A couple of big games ahead before we will be back with you Friday night next week. The Mainland Pouākai's final game of the regular season, and it's a big one too against the Tokomanua Queens. But on behalf of all the local crew here in Ōtautahi Christchurch, hope you enjoyed the action and enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. Ka kite.
Basketball is a movie. In every